fourth quarter of 2025, with real GDP growing by 4.07% year-on-year. Now, according to data from the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS exceeded the 3.76% recorded in the fourth quarter of 2024, reflecting continued resilience across key sectors. Agriculture expanded by 4.00%, while the industrial sector grew by 3.88%, showing improved performance compared to the previous year. In nominal terms, the economy grew to 122.81 trillion naira in the fourth quarter of 2025, representing a 17.55% increase from the same period in 2024. The oil sector recorded stronger year-on-year growth of 6.79%, supported by higher crude production averaging 1.58 million barrels per day. Meanwhile, the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, has said Nigeria's latest economic growth figures shows that ongoing reforms are beginning to yield measurable results. According to recent data from the National Bureau of Statistics, Edun noted that it marks one of the few times in the past decade, aside from the post-COVID rebound, that quarterly growth has exceeded 4%. He added that the fourth quarter performance builds on the 4.23% growth recorded in the second quarter of 2025 and shows clear improvement compared to 3.76% in the third quarter of 2024, reflecting a steady upward trend. The minister further highlighted improved security in farming areas, better access to input, and targeted government intervention as key factors boosting agricultural output. Still on business news, the Nigeria Deposit Insurance Corporation (NDIC) has proposed a 589.89 billion naira budget for the 2026 fiscal year, with an expected surplus that will remit 50% of the income to the federal government in compliance with statutory requirements. The managing director and chief executive, Thompson Sunday, presented the proposal at the National Assembly, Abuja, during a budget defense session before the House of Representatives Committee on Insurance and Actuarial Matters. He said the 2026 estimate represents an increase of 151.22 billion naira over the 2025 budget, with projected expenditure of 250.46 billion naira, in line with the cost-to-income ratio policy. Also speaking, the Commissioner for Insurance and Chief Executive of the National Insurance Commission, Olusegun Omoseyin, said the Commission has proposed 25.667 billion naira as its 2026 expenditure.
Was 287.67 projected for 2025. Prorated till November 2025, 263.69. Year to date for November 2025, 51. The variance was 212.32. The level of budget implementation was 19.52, while the level of actual implementation was 17.89.
In terms of remittance to the Consolidated Revenue Fund, I must highlight here that we do not draw money from Consolidated Revenue Fund. Even though Section 16 of the NICOM Act 1997 that listed our source of fund, the first one is subvention from government. But since I can't remember the year when last we received anything from us.
Following the presentation, Chairman of the House Committee, Honorable Ahmed Jaha, commended NDIC for achieving a 97% implementation of its 2025 budget and described the performance as remarkable compared to several MDAs with low capital budget execution.
The agencies that is involved in the Fiscal Responsibility Act of cost-to-income ratio, where 50% of their generation must be remitted to a dedicated consolidated federation account or federal government accounts, and the remaining 50% is going to be used for running the agency. And it may surprise members to hear that the budget implementation of 2025 is almost 90-something%. Meanwhile, we have 0% implementation, particularly on the capital components of other agencies and ministries, departments.
Also, the Northeast Development Commission has assured the Joint Committee of the National Assembly that it will prioritize the completion of ongoing infrastructural projects and humanitarian services in its 2026 appropriation. Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Commission, Mohammed Goni Al-Khali, gave the assurance while presenting the agency's 2026 budget proposal and defending its 2025 performance before lawmakers. The Managing Director hinted that the Commission appropriated 244.8 billion naira for 2026, with allocations distributed across key sectors. Of the total, 97.6 billion naira is allocated to humanitarian services, up from 33% in 2025.
And putting more emphasis on environmental protection and focus on critical infrastructures like bridges, roads, and irrigation, security, agriculture, power, and so on and so forth. We also have education, health, but our own number one assumption is to complete whatever we are starting so that we won't have abandoned projects. On the next page, we replicated the same component approach and allocated funds as we are. This year, we are given or appropriated 244.066 billion. And out of this, we follow the same pattern as we did last year and came up with some percentages, a componential allocation. Like for humanitarian, we allocated 97.6 billion.
Commended the Commission for visible progress across the region and called for stronger communication between the Commission and the National Assembly to enhance oversight and collaboration.
I want to also reiterate to the Commission that members of the National Assembly are principal partners to the Commission, and I therefore crave the indulgence of the Commission to create a harmonious working relationship with members of the National Assembly, especially as it affects the 6 states in the Northeast.
But having come from the center of where this commission covers, my constituency is among the worst hit by the insurgency. In fact, just a day before yesterday, we lost more than 50 people to the attack by Boko Haram.
In his closing remarks, Chairman of the Senate Committee, Kakashe Hulawan, called for sustained improvements, assuring that while the committee recognizes achievement, it would not hesitate to offer constructive criticism necessary.
Advises criticism as at when due to ensure that the Northeast Development Commission worked effectively, and that is just it, sir. I also want to join my colleagues in commending you for the tremendous improvement. It wasn't like that even last year's budget. We have seen a sea change, so I want you to keep it up. And if need be, improve, just like you promised to improve on that. On this note,
the Minister of Education, Dr. Maru Valausa, says Nigeria's education sector is at a critical stage and requires increased funding to address teacher shortages, insecurity, and decaying infrastructure. He made a call at the National Assembly Abuja while defending the 2026 budget proposal of the Federal Ministry of Education before the Senate and House of Representatives Joint Committee on Education. Alausa said that federal unity colleges face a deficit of over 3,500 teachers, particularly in science and technical subjects, and warned that many schools remain unfenced and lack electricity and surveillance systems, exposing students to security risk. He also highlighted strategies in classrooms, laboratories, hostels, and ICT facilities, stressing the need for 90% budget allocation to education, in line with UNESCO's recommendations.
A budget trust for the year 2026 is anchored on ensuring that we provide opportunities for out-of-school children to return to school, make the teaching and learning environment safer, improve the capacity of teachers to deliver curricula that are contemporary and globally competitive, and improve the capacity of our educational tertiary institutions to produce appropriate skilled and relevant human resource base for our national development. For the main ministry, appropriation personnel budget of total of 257 billion, page 19, and of that, capital request is 234 billion.
Earlier, Chairman of the Senate Committee on Tertiary Institutions and TED Fund, Senator Aliyu Danduse, and Chairman of the House Committee on University Education, Honorable Abubakar Fulata, underscored the importance of adequate funding, stable infrastructure, and transparency in implementing the 2026 education budget.
Budget, including all rollover component, must ultimately translate into measurable improvement in educational delivery, enhance research capacity, and dignify conditioning and learning across institutions. Let me state clearly that we are approaching today's session as collaborative partners in service to national educational development.
The implementation of 2025 is highly challenged. While we can attest to the fact that some level of achievements have been recorded in the area of recurrent expenditure in terms of personnel leases and overhead, we cannot say the same for capital leases.
Still on education, stakeholders in Kaduna have called on governments at all levels to invest more in sport development for young people, describing it as a vital pillar for academic excellence and emotional stability. According to 2026 academic inter-sport competition involving pupils and students from nursery, primary and secondary schools, an education win emphasized the need to prioritize sports alongside academics, noting that active participation helps children discover their talent early while strengthening their emotional and psychological well-being.
The brain, exercise the body, exercise the emotion to make the child to be ready to play, to be ready to study. And also through this sport, some learners career from it. And that is why you see we have prominent footballers, prominent runners, and different sports, and they make their living out of it. They pick it as a career, so it is as important as the study itself. I ask that the government should invest more in sport activities. With these sport activities, you will have positive impact on the students, and you will have that spirit of sport, and it will bring about positive.
Parents highlighted the importance of early engagement in sporting activities, saying the combination of education and sports enhances children's intelligence and prepares them for future opportunities.
You don't really need the educational aspect for you to make it in life. You can also make it in life when it comes to the sport, so it's actually helpful. I think the government needs to invest more in sports, like the younger ones. They really have passion of, as in sports, they want to go to greater height, but then the facilities, we don't have the facilities. That's why we always have shortage of facilities, and then it's actually limiting the students from exploring to greater height, which they want to.
Students who emerge winners attributed their success to constant training and dedication, urging parents to see sport as a viable career path rather than relying solely on classroom education.
I'm happy because this is what we have been fighting for since. As we enter this, we have been going for practice every day just to make sure that we come first, and by the grace of God, we achieve what we have achieved our goals, and we are very happy for that. It's very good to invest in sports and academic, because it has taken many people to very good places.
When we engage in sports, in case you're not good in academic aspects, you must be good in sport aspects. And some people discover their talent of athletics in doing all these inter-house sports.
The Nigeria Education Loan Fund, NELFund, has recorded 1,696,316 applications since its launch on 4th, 2024. According to its latest daily status update, 983,706 students have benefited so far, with applications rising by 12,776 on the final day. On disbursement, the fund confirmed that over 107 billion naira has been paid directly to 265 institutions for tuition, while about 76.8 billion naira has been released to students as upkeep allowances, totaling about 184 billion naira in February 2026. NELFund had earlier announced the February 27 deadline via its official X account, urging students to complete their applications before the portal closed. To security matters now, Governor Bala Mohammed of Bauchi State has raised alarm over escalating insecurity, saying bandits have taken over several ungoverned areas in part of the state. Speaking after a meeting with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu at the State House Mosque following Jumat prayers, the governor said he briefed the president on the deteriorating security situation, particularly in Al Kaleri local government area. Mohammed described the crisis as a looming humanitarian emergency, with residents fleeing their communities out of fear. He said the president had issued directives and that he would also meet with top security officials, including the National Security Advisor, to seek urgent intervention and restore stability in the state.
These have become so emboldened, and they have taken over so many ungoverned spaces there, coming out from the Daji Madam. And we have been having some sporadic clashes and skirmishes with them, with the security agencies. But it would appear that the security agencies and all of us are overwhelmed, and the situation escalating to a level where it will become a big humanitarian crisis, because out of fear and paranoia, most of the inhabitants are running to other states and other local governments at this time of fasting, and that's why I visited there with the aid of security agencies, saw the situation and brought a report to Mr. President and sought for special presidential intervention, and we know him to be somebody that is very serious with security.
Meanwhile, troops of the Nigerian Armed Forces neutralized scores of terrorists, arrested 354 suspects, and rescued 409 kidnapped victims nationwide in February 2025. The update was provided in Abuja by the Director of Defense Media Operations, Michael Onoja, where he revealed that Operation Hadinkai in the northeast received 46 suspected terrorists. He also added that troops disrupted the activities of Boko Haram, ISWAP, and Jazz factions through joint operations with hybrid forces and local collaborators. In the South-South Operation Delta 7 intensified its crackdown on oil theft, arresting 59 suspects, rescuing hostages, recovering large quantities of crude oil and agua, and destroying 32 illegal refining sites. Meanwhile, Operation Fasanyama sustained offensives across several northwest states, neutralizing terrorists, arresting 36 suspects, and rescuing 251 hostages through coordinated ground and air operations.
Arrested 59 criminal hostages, recovered 144,050 liters of crude oil and 31,601 liters of automated gas oil, and destroyed 32 illegal refining sites. Working together, the maritime and land components, as well as other security agencies, dismantled crude petroleum processing equipment, thus safeguarding our national assets. On sighting troops' approach, terrorists opened fire but were repelled by troops' superior firepower, which forced them to withdraw into a valley. Battle damage assessment subsequently carried out revealed that scores of terrorists were neutralized, while some were severely wounded in action.
Implementation of youth empowerment programs, including vocational training in agriculture and conflict resolution to prevent radicalization and build harmony.
Assistance that the United States government is providing to the Nigerian military to ensure that the issue of insecurity comes to an end. And the whole end state of that assistance is to make sure that Nigeria has an environment that is conducive for all its citizens to be able to live in peace from the threats of terrorists.
The State Police Command has urged Christians and Muslims in the state to suspend all-night worship services due to rising security concerns. The Commissioner of Police, ADBN Lawal, made the appeal while addressing journalists on efforts to rescue 6 abducted worshippers. The victims were kidnapped on Tuesday when suspected gunmen attacked a parish of the Celestial Church of Christ in Uzo, our local government area, during a midnight service. The attackers reportedly stormed the church along the Awobini Expressway and forced the congregants into the bush. Commissioner pointed that the abducted worshippers include a pregnant woman and a physically challenged, further explaining that a temporary suspension of night worship would allow security agencies to better monitor religious activities during the day and improve public safety.
About it, and I think we've approached some individuals who have assured us they will assist us with drone. Whether if you cannot hunt with a dog, you can always hunt with a cat. If you could get any type of drone we get, we'll make use of. But I want to assure you that very soon we'll get drone. But that notwithstanding, we are not going to wait till that drone comes. We'll continue to do the bush combing because we can't continue to wait. So continue to take the battle to them. Advised religious leaders, it is not, it's all inclusive. The Christian, the Muslim, the traditional worshippers, all of them. They should for now, step it down, this night worship, because of the challenges we are having. So that if it is daytime, of course we know. Then again, we told them, okay, if you want to do anything, let us know, carry us along. We're able to give you expert opinion.
You're watching ADBN News at 7. Stay with us, more stories after the break. Please don't go away.
For your news on the go, ADBN is everywhere you are. Stay connected with us across all our social media and streaming platforms for exclusive news updates, captivating stories, and more. Join the ADBN community today via our various platforms. An Apple TV app, ADBN Channel 121, Niger TV app, ADBN TV, Linuxwell TV app. To get the latest news straight to your phone, join our WhatsApp TV channel. Just search for ADBN TV and hit the follow button. Turn on your notification to stay updated and never miss any part of the experience. Stay in the conversation with us across social media handles. On X at ADBN TV. Instagram at ADBN TV, Facebook ADBN TV, YouTube ADBN TV. Keep visiting our website on www.adbntv.com. Watch us live anytime, anywhere. ADBN TV, a part of you.
Welcome back, and now to political matters. Governor Amadou Umaru Fintiri has announced his defection from the People's Democratic Party, PDP, to the All Progressive Congress, APC, in Adamawa State. He made the declaration during a statewide broadcast on Friday, where he hinted that the decision was taken in the best interest of Adamawa State and its people. Fintiri explained that his defection followed wide consultations with key stakeholders across the state and described the move as a necessary political alignment in the current climate. He added that aligning with the APC would position Adamawa State to support and benefit from the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, aimed at advancing social welfare, infrastructure, housing, and inclusive economic growth.
Was not taken lightly. It was not driven by personal ambition nor by convenience. It was guided by one overriding consideration: the long-term stability, development, and prosperity of Adamawa State. Fellow students, you remain our most cherished partners. I want you to trust that this decision is in our best interest. Wherever we go from here, we're going as a collective with the required political strength and a number that confers value.
Legislators have been urged to maintain close collaboration with the executive arm of government to ensure effective service delivery, good governance, and improved outcomes for the people. Chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum and Governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodimma, met the call while receiving members of the Progressive Speakers Forum during a courtesy visit. Governor Uzodimma noted that the meeting would help strengthen the internal structures of the All Progressive Congress APC ahead of its forthcoming national convention.
There is no federal governor without the supranational government. So the governors are strong. Their failure represents our failure. Their successes represent our success. You are speakers. A governor can only do well if he is receiving your support and collaboration. So we must learn how to work together for the overall interest of our people. And don't see yourself as
commitment to unity, discipline, and strategic coordination within the party.
And Your Excellency, we are loyal. We are all loyal to our governors. And we are helping our governors. And we are assuring you of 100% loyalty. Anything you brought to us, we will do it without even you. And thank you for what you are doing to the APC and Mr. President Bola Ahmed too. The main essence of our coming.
Still on politics, the All Progressive Congress APC in Edo State has rejected allegations made by the opposition African Democratic Congress ADC, stating that it remains fully committed to preparations for its upcoming state congress. The ADC had accused the APC of being connected to reported gunshots at the residence of former Edo State Governor John Odigye Oyegun. Reacting while speaking with journalists at the airport, Edo APC chairman Jare Tenebe dismissed the allegation as unfounded and politically motivated. He emphasized that the party would not be distracted by what he described as baseless claims and remain focused on conducting a peaceful and successful state congress.
The developmental stride of Senator Monday Okpewolo. How can we know whether there's another party when all other political parties within the state has collapsed into the APC? So that's the reason why we are saying, because of the performance of the governor, the whole state have decided to come to one party, which is APC. So that's why I'm saying there is no other political party in Edo State. On Tuesday, we've been in conclaves. There have been caucus meetings going on. I'm sure by Tuesday the white smoke will come out and everything would have been decided. It will be clear whether I'll be substantive chairman or I will not be. My advice to all members of APC is that on Tuesday, if you are a delegate, you come to the venue where the Congress is going to be held, and we should those that are not delegates should stay in their respective wards and local government, because that day is going to be a day of celebration. That's going to be a new beginning for the party.
As part of the infrastructural developments of the Shine Agenda, which includes education, Usain Polytechnic in Edo State is experiencing a tremendous impact. While commissioning the 5 kilometers internal road project, Governor Mando Pobolo praised NDDC for their immense effort in facilitating the construction, stating that the project is a strategic investment that will boost the development of not just the campus, but the community at large. The governor also donated 2 brand new buses to the Polytechnic and gave a directive on evaluation of student hostel accommodations to provide a more conducive living environment.
Within educational institution is not a luxury, it is a necessity. Good roads enhance security, improve mobility, support learning activities, and create an enabling environment where excellence can thrive.
The Minister of Regional Development, Abubakar Mama, expressed deep satisfaction, thereby commending the collaboration between the state and the NDDC.
I want to thank you, the MD, and thank the governor of Edo State. This is the power of partnership, the power of collaboration, and the power of various governments coming together to work as a team.
Executive Director of Project at NDDC, Sir Victor Antai, provided technical breakdown of the road project, stating that with proper maintenance and management of the infrastructure, the benefit will be long-term.
TN Company Limited, which provided for the construction of a 4.8-kilometer asphalt pavement comprising 4.595 kilometers of internal roads and 250 meters of dual carriage main entrance road, with 4.205 kilometers of reinforced concrete drains and 32 meter by 900 mm reinforced concrete ring culvert. The project is 100% completed, as we have laid high-quality asphalt across the campus internal road network.
Away from that, the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, NCDMB, has commissioned a state-of-the-art clinical skills laboratory in the Bayelsa Medical University in Yanagwa, Bayelsa State. The clinical skills laboratory, equipped by the board, is a medical simulation facility that offers a modular and multidisciplinary learning environment where health profession students can learn, practice, and master clinical procedures and technical skills before working with real patients. Our correspondent Edith Barazwa reports.
Staff and student body of the Bayelsa Medical University have expressed optimism over the newly equipped clinical scale laboratory furnished by the ANC, an initiative underscored in the board's human capacity development mandate. Speaking during the commissioning ceremony, the Executive Secretary of the Board, Engineer Felix Omashola Obi, represented by the Acting Director of Planning, Research and Statistics, NCDMB, Mr. Ene Ete, reiterated the board's commitment to developing local human capacity, noted that the commissioning is symbolic to the strengthening of the socio-economic status and local content nationwide.
Infrastructure achieves its purpose only when it's optimally used and preserved. In closing, NCDMB remains committed to policies and initiatives that deepen Nigerian content, not merely in numbers, but in knowledge, skills, innovation, and institutional strength. This clinical skills laboratory stands as a symbol of what structured policy, responsibility to corporate participation and academic collaboration can achieve. On behalf of the Executive Secretary and the management of NCDMB, I hereby congratulate the Bayelsa Medical University on this upgraded clinical skills laboratory for the advancement of medical education, research, and national development.
The Vice-Chancellor and heads of government ministries present commended the board's interventionist position in the university and the country at large.
We have partners we call the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, who have graciously equipped this clinical skills laboratory. And on behalf of the university, I want to express our sincere gratitude to the NCDMB for this investment, which completely aligns with what they are doing, focus on human capital development in the Niger Delta and in Nigeria as a whole. And this is a practical example of a success story.
We are aspiring to be the leading university in medicine. We are aspiring to be a global university, and we are standing with him to give you all the encouragement. And what the content board has done is clearly a demonstration of going with that vision to market this university to the entire world. And we believe that we have the best facility here in Bayelsa State. The state-of-the-art clinical skill laboratory we are commissioning today in this institution is indeed a testament to the governor's dedication and commitment to the progressive translating visions into reality. The clinical skill laboratory will play a pivotal role in shaping the next generation of health providers, equipping them with the practical skills and confidence to deliver care. This laboratory embodies the intersections of education and healthcare, where theory meet practice.
The simulation laboratory toured include virtual reality station, urethral catheterization station, airway management station, auto scan machine, AED trainers, trauma mannequins, amongst others. Edith Barswa, ADBN News.
Governor Sheriff Oborowori of Delta State has received the Leadership Action Award from the Center for Convention on Democratic Integrity, CCDI, in recognition of his administration's commitment to peace, justice, and strong democratic institutions. The award acknowledged the state government's effort towards advancing the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 16, which focuses on peace, justice, and strong institutions. Receiving the honor on behalf of the governor, his deputy Monday Oyeme described the recognition as validation of the administration's governance model anchored on due process, accountability, and sustainable development.
So firmly committed to advancing democratic value and safeguarding integrity. It's not just a personal honor. It is a validation of the path we have chosen in governance, a path anchored in due process, accountability, and the unwavering belief that peace and justice are the bedrock of true development. Without them, progress is nothing more than a mirage. Your recognition of our contribution to Sustainable Development Goal 16, peace, justice, and strong institutions, reaffirm that progress cannot endure without strong institutions, the rule of law, and equity that sustain peace.
President of the Rights Monitoring Group and United States Permanent Representative of CCDI to the United Nations, Olufemi Aduwo, said the award represents a prestigious global recognition for excellence in public service.
All the area we did the assessment, we can consider at least 2 or 3 for the United Nations Public Service Award, based on certain issues we discovered in 2015, which we believe now they have rectified, and they have done so. So we have to follow the whole process. First of all, we have to do advertorial in 4 papers. We did in Guardian, in Punch, full page, what we know about the achievement, what the government is doing on the SDGs, and then we have to wait for 1 month, no reaction. Then we have to issue press release, no reaction. So these are the kind of process, apart from the submission we made, that yes, but it was the same UN that make us that look, Delta State have done something in the area SDGs 16, have to do with justice.
Members of the State Executive Council also highlighted reforms and institutional strengthening achieved under the Oborowori administration.
When you talked about building institutions and then all issues of security, and that speaks to proactive governance. And so when you have a Center for Convention for Democratic Institutions having to recognize you among the many states, you know that it's not one of those awards that fly up and down on account of maybe an individual having to extend 1 or 2 things. On their own, they went about taking a look at the projects, procedures, policies, and programs of the Oborowori-led administration, and they could identify a whole number of improvements.
When we were turning the round of administration in 2023, a lot of people had some skepticism, believing that he wouldn't be able to do what he's expected to do in terms of positive governance in any administration. But so far, he has been able to diligently, sustainably proven to the people of Deltas and in fact Nigerians that it has a lot to offer.
For entertainment news, heading for Shade Adu, a Nigerian-born British singer popularly known as Shade Adu, has received her second nomination for induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The 67-year-old Grammy winner celebrated for her signature contralto voice and hits like Smooth Operator and The Sweetest Taboo is included in a roster of 17 nominees, 10 of whom are debuting on the ballot. Shade Adu was previously nominated in 2024 and made history in 1986 as the first Nigerian-born artist to win a Grammy. Over 1,200 artists, historians, and industry professionals will vote to determine the final inductees, with results expected in April and the official ceremony later in the year. And upon down to the foreign scene, at least 11 people have died after a Bolivian Air Force cargo plane crashed in El Alto, western Bolivia. The aircraft reportedly skidded up the runway while landing on Friday evening and struck nearby vehicles. Aviation officials said the plane was arriving from Santa Cruz when the accident occurred. Bolivia's defense ministry confirmed the aircraft was a C-130 Hercules transporting banknotes to the Central Bank of Bolivia, but did not disclose the number of passengers on board. Following the crash, police fired tear gas to disperse crowds allegedly attempting to collect scattered banknotes from the wreckage. Defense Minister Marcelo Salinas further warned that the money had no legal value because it had not been officially issued by the central bank and lacked serial numbers, adding that attempting to use it would constitute a crime. Sierra Leone announced that Guinea has released 16 of its soldiers and police officers who were arrested earlier in the week. The Information Ministry confirmed on social media that all detained security personnel had been safely returned. Guinea claimed that several dozen Sierra Leonean soldiers had entered its territory without authorization. Guinea's Prime Minister Amadou Auriba said the dispute would be resolved quickly through diplomatic means. Territorial dispute in the region dates back to Sierra Leone's civil war when Guinea deployed to help fight rebels. And in sports news, Argentina captain Lionel Messi was brought down by a pitch invader during Inter Miami CF's friendly victory over Independent Del Valle in Puerto Rico. Messi, who came on as a halftime substitute, was wrestled to the ground by a spectator with 2 minutes of normal time remaining. Several fans had already run onto the pitch in an attempt to get close to the Argentine star. Messi had been taking a selfie with one supporter when another individual grabbed the former FC Barcelona playmaker around the waist. Messi later scored from the penalty spot in the 2-1 win, while Santiago Morales netted the other goal for Miami. The match had originally been scheduled for 13 February, but was postponed after Messi experienced a hamstring injury. Still in sports news, Alexander Usyk will defend his WBC title against Dutch kickboxer Rico Verhoeven on 23rd May at the Pyramids of Giza in Egypt. The Ukrainian, a three-time undisputed champion, currently holds the IBF, WBA, and WBC heavyweight titles after vacating the WBO belt. The 39-year-old has not fought since defeating Britain's Daniel Dubois at Wembley Stadium last July. Verhoeven has previously sparred with former world champion Tyson Fury and has won professional boxing bout to his game, recorded in 2014, which he won by knockout. So the sports news, Super Eagles goalkeeper Ahmad Obasagir has been suspended by his Tanzanian club Singida Black Stars for his alleged involvement in match fixing. The club announced in a statement that Obasagir has been handed a 3-month suspension pending the outcome of an investigation into her allegations. Obasagir joined Singida Black Stars in 2025 after leaving Ethiopian side Fasil Kenema. A 26-year-old was part of Nigeria's squad for the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco. The former Bendel Insurance goalkeeper has made one appearance for the 3-time African champions. And that's it on ADBN TV News. Remember to watch us live on DSTV channel 258 and on StarTimes channel 140, Apple TV app, Limex Well TV app, and Niger TV app. For more stories, visit our website at www.adbntv.com. You can also watch us live from every part of the world by logging on to www.adbntv.com/live. I am Sifonode, thanking you for watching. Good morning.
This responsibility because I know your record. I believe in dedication that you've exhibited while you were in Lagos and I was the governor of Lagos State. And now you assume this responsibility at a defining moment for our nation's security, and expect you to strengthen the discipline, enhance interagency collaboration, and restore public confidence in Nigerian police.
The appointment means a lot to me. It means a lot to me because I have the love of my profession, the love of the country, and it came at a time I was not expecting it. That makes me give thanks to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria for his magnanimity to see me fit to be appointed as the Inspector General of Police. The President mentioning a lot of activities about me, mentioning areas I've worked, mentioning successes I've recorded as a policeman, brought emotion to me, almost brought me to tears. It shows the President took his time to monitor officers working everywhere in the country, and it shows the President was throwing a challenge at me to go out there and do what I'm known for and ensure that I bring peace, recognition, and to the country. My top priority, one of the first lectures I'm going to have with my men, I'm going to talk to them, let them know that the citizen of the country are the boss. It's very, very important for them to know that no police anywhere in the world can succeed without the cooperation of members of the I'm going to ensure that I take their welfare into consideration because people who are motivated are putting their best. Let them know that the area of impunity is over. I will ensure that I train them and encourage them to ensure they follow human rights. I will ensure that they know that I will try to follow a regime of zero tolerance to corruption. And most importantly, I'm going to drum it into them that we can never succeed cooperation of members of the public. I will make sure I get that.
The newly appointed acting inspector is that he should continue to show commitment to the things that we have been doing together. He has been part of my administration from the beginning. He was my PSO. He was CP in Rivers in FCT. He was the AIG in charge of my SPU. When Mr. President gave the order, presidential order, to withdraw police from VIP protection, it was Tunji Disu I called upon to ensure that presidential order was given full compliance.
Nigeria has an environment that is conducive for all its citizens to be able to live in peace, free from the threats of terrorists. As you know, the American government, its policy is to ensure that they pursue terrorists anywhere in the world in order to secure their own national interests and national security. So what they are doing in coming to our aid to assist us should not be considered abnormal. Now, on the number of personnel, I want to give you an example. Do you know the number of personnel in DHP? front, exactly. But our activities in DHU are proceeding as normal. So I think focus on the number. What we should focus on is the value they are coming to add to us. And I can tell you, in the last 2 months, they have done that. So I think on that note, we should appreciate them, and we should not, the number is not an issue. You just be rest assured that Nigeria's integrity, our national security is intact. Nobody is giving away our sovereignty. Convey that to the public. Our sovereignty is intact, our territorial integrity is intact. Thank you. Now, on the issue of US personnel who are offering us training, they are only coming to offer us training. So I'm not sure there's any basis for any media interaction with them. However, if in the course of offering the training, they see a need for that, I believe you'll be informed about that. But it's just a training program. You understand? We go for training abroad all the time. We don't, if I go to America for training, American journalists do not say they want to come and interact with me. You understand? So please, let's look at things from the best of perspectives. It will work out well for Nigeria, don't worry. Okay. Now the cost to the federal government.
I got to see it only this morning. And because as senator, somebody who was here for 8 years, I hold this in the highest, esteem. And so I felt that I should come and then, first of all, explain that it's ready with what you demanded I should submit to you. But your letter is clearly stating that we should submit sundry documents, for your consideration. But because we got the letter yesterday evening, and I only got to see it only this morning, we are not quite ready, we're not quite ready with the document that you have asked us, to submit.
But what question can we raise when we have no document before us to peruse? Probably when this document comes before us, some of the questions may be unnecessary. So I would like to suggest to my colleagues that subject to the leadership approval, of course, that it is better to adjourn this meeting, because this meeting with these major stakeholders is very critical to Nigeria and Nigerians. And my thinking that as we sit here, representatives of Nigeria, as they speak and we speak, we're speaking to Nigerians. And therefore, if we're going to achieve any meaningful interaction with them, since they came unprepared, I do not think we need any other argument to say they will have to do or listen to us because they are just perusing a document that was supposed to have been sent since last week. So I suggest, Mr. Chairman, we give them some dates, subject to how you see it, and then we adjourn this thing and tell them to come back in very few days. That's my suggestion.
First of all, let me appreciate your prompt response to our request. We must appreciate you. Although it is not we, the members of the National Assembly, it is the respect of the Constitution and the country that are doing this because of the country. Therefore, I think based on the practical situation and the importance of the question and the document we are asking, I am proposing to postpone this meeting to the next week, at least reschedule it to 5th of March 2026. Then you will and the remaining head of the agencies, Minister of Finance, Attorney General, and of course Accountant General of the Federation must be here to put our head together and arrive at the destination, a common destination. I saw
finance here because it borders on fiscal accountability, the PIA vis-a-vis the executive orders 9 just signed by the president recently. The SA Energy to the president is not here too. She's very, very pivotal to the goings on here. And I would personally align with what you've had.
When I assumed office, the force confronted evolving threats, asymmetric violence, technologically enabled crime, heightened civic expectations, and the urgent demand for institutional renewal. The movement required decisive recalibration. Accordingly, we strengthened intelligence-led policing architecture, expanded digital crime tracking and forensic capabilities, enhanced interagency operational coordination, reinforced internal accountability mechanisms, modernized tactical assets, and intensified specialized training across commands nationwide. Targeted operations during this period disrupted organized criminal kidnapping networks, contained violent criminal syndicates, improved coordinated response capacity, and restored operational confidence in previously underserved communities. As I hand over to my successor, the one chosen among the best, I do so with confidence in his competence, experience, and strategic capacity. The foundation has been reinforced, the system recalibrated, the reform trajectory clearly defined. All these he has been part of. I charge him to consolidate these gains to deepen intelligence integration, expand technological modernization, strengthen accountability systems, and entrench.
I have a strong opinion that this is not yet time for me to be congratulated. It is not yet time because everybody has been placed on my shoulders and those of my colleagues. It is not yet time because I know the expectations are very high. It is not yet time because I know we should not only meet the expectation but try to surpass them. My tenure will therefore be built on 3 clear commitments: professionalism, modernism, accountability, integrity, community partnership, and trust.
On the go, ADBN is everywhere you are. Stay connected with us across all our social media and streaming platforms for exclusive news updates, captivating stories, and more. Join the ADBN community today via our various platforms. An Avo TV app, ADBN Channel 121, Niger TV app, ADBN TV, Linux Well TV app. To get the latest news straight to your phone, join our WhatsApp TV channel. Just search for ADBN TV and hit the follow button. Turn on your notification to stay updated and never miss any part of the experience. Stay in the conversation with us across social media handles. On X at ADBN TV, Instagram at ADBN TV, Facebook Facebook, ADBN TV, YouTube, ADBN TV. Keep visiting our website on www.adbntv.com. Watch us live anytime, anywhere. ADBN TV, a part of you.
In a world of overwhelming voices where everyone has different opinions on issues, it is important that we bring the core issue to the fore. Join me, Nancy Banigo, on Softline as we lend voices to inform and influence your thoughts and actions. This is not just mere talk, It is an invocative program that touches the core of our existence.
Step into the heartbeat of the world where news meets real talk. From breakthroughs in diplomacy to humanitarian challenges and scientific milestones, Global Digest takes you beyond the headlines and straight to the heart of the matter. I am Amma Marcus. Be a part of the world unfolding stories at 3 p.m. on ADBN, channel 258 on DSTV, and Star Times, channel 140. Global Digest, your window to the world's current affairs. Or Advocate Broadcasting Network.
Welcome to FCT in Focus, your window to the vibrant heartbeat of Nigeria's capital. We into the core of the FCT, exploring how key policies and decisions shape lives across the city. From exclusive insights into the FCT administration to voices from the streets, we bring you stories that matter. Catch FCT in Focus every Saturday and Sunday at noon. Tune in for this directly from the nation's hearts.
The global business is never static. Watch the market report on ADBN TV for business information, latest happening business deals, government economic policies, stock, crude oil and commodity trading, financial upstick and downstick, and the world of organized private sector. The market report showing on ADBN TV 1 to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday. The market report bringing you up to speed in the business world.
For your news on the go, ADBN is everywhere you are. Stay connected with us across all our social media and streaming platforms for exclusive news updates, captivating stories, and more. Join the ADBN community today via our various platforms. An Avo TV app, ADBN Channel 121, Niger TV app, ADBN TV, Linux Well TV app. To get the latest news straight to your phone, join our WhatsApp TV channel. Just search for ADBN TV and hit the follow button. Turn on your notification to stay updated and never miss any part of the experience. Stay in the conversation with us across social media handles. On X at ADBN TV. Instagram at ADBN TV, Facebook ADBN TV, YouTube ADBN TV. Keep visiting our website on www.adbntv.com. Watch us live anytime, anywhere. ADBN TV, a part of you.
So on the last day of February, Jennifer decided to spice things up to surprise me. Never seen Jennifer look this beautiful and different. I mean, if you didn't know Jennifer, you probably think her name is Jenny Fatu. Well, let me introduce myself, and then Jenny Fatu will tell you if she's Jenny Fatu. Well, my name is Ikechiku Jiwe, and of course, I'm not alone. I've got Madame Jenny Fatu.
Thank you. Well, I don't know how you feel, but I just thought, I mean, how could we spend the whole year projecting, you know, while we're here on the morning show, this weekend edition, usually to also showcase our cultural aspects. Like some days, I can appear as a Yoruba woman. Remember the time I appeared as
last one. And so
then
today you decided to be Jenny Fatu.
Yeah, and today we had to take it to the north.
Okay, so introduce yourself so it doesn't look like, so you're Jenny Fatu.
Nene Sunanke.
Huh?
Jennifer Fayos. So Jennifer Fayos. Okay, I think that's how.
So you're Jennifer
Fayos.
Okay.
Yes, so it's a lovely Saturday morning. In fact, the very last day in the month of February and the last day in the month of February. I don't know how you felt about February, but I think February was a bit longer than we expected.
Yeah,
compared to January.
It to be shorter.
Yeah, even though it has the shortest days.
Things are getting abridged, and I think I like the abridged version of 2026.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
So let it just be short. Before you close your eyes and open, we're talking 27. No. So we can get it over and done
We're
with.
already talking 27. Whether you join us or not, we're already talking about it. And very soon, before you blink and open, we will be talking elections. And of course, we know how that pans out. And the next thing, we're all talking of court rulings. We're all talking of who was overturned. That's how things work here in this country. But then,
funny enough.
But then we're looking out for better days, and those better days, we hope they're already here. We'll take a break. When we return, we'll pan our focus on the newspapers for the day.
The global business is never static. Watch the market report on ADBN TV for nation, latest happening, business deals, government economic policies, stock, crude oil and commodity trading, financial upstick and downstick, and the world of organized private sector. The market report showing on ADBN TV 1 to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday. The market report bringing you up to speed in the business world.
The overall function of the Parliament is adequate representation of their constituents in state echoes to federation.
Removal of fuel subsidy, resources to critical sectors such as education and health. A call to unity and progress of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
NAS Unplugged is a program that will highlight topical issues from both chambers of the National Assembly, motions and constituency projects.
Guys have it.
Catch the program on ADBN TV Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays as we bring you out of the National Assembly as it affects the people.
During the flood disaster in Maiduguri and its environs.
For increase in the number of judges.
This morning, our reviewer, that's Comrade Udema Abbasi. Comrade Udeme.
Comrade.
Udeme, but the Udema, because I forgot the man.
This is the time for naming like Jennifer.
Yeah. So, Comrade Udeme Abbasi,
right.
Udofa. Good morning to you, Comrade. Great to have you.
I'm happy to be here.
Jennifer. After the long holiday or short holiday?
Jennifer.
Fine.
Yeah, it's beautiful, it's refreshing. And well, in the last day of February. February is always a very good month for me, you know, but I think that March is going to be better because I'm looking forward to better days in 2026, being an election year.
And it's good that Jennifer all the way to what the papers are reporting.
Indeed, and the papers aren't talking less of politics, so we have a lot of things to talk about today when it comes to politics, and of course, so much. But first, we'll go punchy to Saturday Punch and see what Saturday Punch tells us about the political scene as we prepare for the 2027 election. Saturday Punch first on our lineup for today. Saturday Punch says here, 2027, on your marks, set, go. All right, parties race against May deadline for primaries. PDP, ADC, NNPP accuse INEC of creating impossible hurdles. APC to opposition, go to court, boycott polls. This is really on your mark, set, go.
That's right.
Yeah, everyone is on their toes now.
Yes. The opposition parties appear to think that this is, since this is an APC government, that they're the ones that browbeat the INEC or the National Assembly into making things difficult for them. But I think that the world is defined by change as long as there are human beings in it. And they have given sufficient reasons for the shifting of dates. And as long as you are a political party, you should understand that elections are coming and you should try and put your house in order. You know, primaries are very, very important. So it is the primaries that decide whether you're going to do well or not, because the primaries are basically the time that you bring out the best that you have to offer. You know, when
it's a sieving process.
Yes, it's a sieving process. when you bring in people that are not beneficial to society, that are not able to hold their own, that are not able to expatiate on what they want to do for this country, then it means that we're going to have a flawed performance.
Now, this line, go to court or boycott polls, I mean, it's like a cliche. I mean, with elections, we've heard. I mean, Jennifer did talk about courts from the beginning.
Okay.
But you don't suppose that statement was made because the opponent said, they had vowed that, they would not sit down and watch the implementation of the new electoral law. You would recall that they had asked the Senate, to review it, go back and do it, because they're still arguing the issue of the caveat, which is attached to the electronic transmission of results. In event that, you have network glitches and all of that, they want electronic transmission of result or nothing. And so they vow that they will pursue that, and they will not allow the implementation of the new electoral law. You don't suppose they go to court part or boycott the polls was made in reply to that statement?
Well, they are out of the opposition is out of their depths, because we have glitches in everything. Even in the judiciary, we have glitches. Even in news delivery, we have glitches and all of that. And so when you are making laws, you try to understand that there are certain adverse situations that can harm the elections. And so the Senate is a highly regarded segment of the Nigerian democracy, and it's made of people with different views. So what they should have done is to have sponsored bills at the time of making this
law. Now that it's been passed as a law.
That everything has been done and it's passed as a law. So what's the need to generate heat now? The thing is, either you kowtow to the law or you decide to back out. But I don't think any of them is going to back out, because I've noticed something about politics. If you're in, you will always go back even when you say, no, I don't like it. There's always an opportunity to relaunch yourself. But the truth is that this change of deadlines and all of that should be able to put in them a sense of urgency, because Nigerians are really coveting 2027. At one point, there was a talk as if 2026 is not there. Everybody was focused on 2027. Now we started preparations, and so the opposition leaders who want to take over power from the political party, the ruling political party, should put their house in order. There's been a lot of problems in the opposition camp. So this idea of saying no, they don't, it's not fair on them and all that. I mean, go to court or you back out. It's a way of taking the battle into their own territory.
But let's look at it. I mean, they're saying it's either electronic transmission or nothing, because the caveat is a loophole, is a lacuna that can be exploited, I beg your pardon. So it's either electronic transmission or nothing. Can we actually have that, electronic transmission or nothing?
You remember that earlier I said there are glitches in everything in Nigeria, even in the advanced.
Can the glitch not be avoided?
No, it's something that, except that it is not an act of God, but as long as you have human beings, and the level of technological development cannot be maybe overrated. So it's there has to be a combination of the manual transmission and the electronic transmission.
Can the service providers not be prevailed upon to upgrade before the elections?
No, now
and ensure.
Now you talk about upgrading operations. What about the exchange? Have we talked about expanding the exchange? There's a lot of things to be done. I'm not in the technology sector, or tech sector, but the truth is that there are certain things that are supposed to be done. There are so many areas of this country where you cannot have networks, and you will need to spend so much to be able to bring the facilities that the fintechs use to be able to.
But the INEC has budgeted for that, the situation. If we go to where government functionaries are, they have the capacity to jam networks. So how come it is not possible that at pooling units they can't help improve, even if it's to get some devices to help boost the internet connectivity?
No, there's a preparation process in everything for you to get for you to get to a certain level, you must start with something. You know, have we also considered power? This will depend on power.
You can have generators.
You know, you
power
can have
generators, solar powered.
You know, generators can be
all those things are there.
I'm not trying to defend, but the truth about it is that these things must go pari passu, the manual transmission and the electronic transmission. You can't just go one step like that and there you go. There is nothing in this country that is actually human perfect. There's nothing. There are glitches in every aspect of even justice delivery, even the policing and all of that, even transmission of you've heard about the CBT examinations that is causing a lot of problems in the higher institutions, in the tertiary, in the secondary schools and all of that. Not all of them able to do CBT. You know, but there's no going back. Let us experiment with this dual transmission of votes, and then we can make improvements in the future.
Okay.
Because if we want to go back, it means we are going to delay the election process.
Okay. Let's.
Because these people will need time to upgrade. They will need time to maybe buy more equipment and all of that. But all of this is not germane to the argument. The truth is that it's been passed, and so let's work with the law.
All right, then we'll work with that. The nation still talks politics. There's a whole lot on politics today.
It's a political year.
Yeah.
It's not surprising.
The nation says here, Atiku's home state falls as Fintiri joins APC. Adamawa governor defects with cabinet. PDP executives, 14 local government chairmen, says realignment repositions states with mainstream national politics, the regular line. 2027 will be Tinubu versus Nigerians. This is attributed to Atiku. Now, you'd hold that thought because there's, should I say, rejoinder to this from First Daily. First Daily says here, retire, relocate to Dubai. Presidency taunts Atiku after Fintiri's defection. I had to bring this too. This is the political scene now, Adamawa. And we're all looking at how the year pans out in preparations for 2027. And everybody's trying to go to their strong points, their strongholds, and to ensure there's reinforcement. But this recent one seems to bring in some level of shaking for the ADC.
I like to re-emphasize, yes, that politics is indeed local. You know, you go to Abuja, you become so predominant in the national scene, and yet your backyard does not have a feel of your presence. I think that it is a minus that one of the contenders to Nigeria's presidency, the former vice president Atiku Abubakar, lost his own state to APC. That is really, really sad, you know. And what he should do is to re-strategize and see what he can do to say, okay, God, let me see. He should be able to work on the grassroots, because I always agree with this tendency that when the head falls in politics, that every other part will go along with it. It's possible that the leadership is not in tandem with the generality of the people. How popular is Fintiri, yes. How popular is he, you know, in Adamawa State? And has he been able to carry the people along? And these are questions that I have been trying to gauge in my mind. You know, so, and instead of having all these breakbacks at the presidency, look, man said, okay, so if you are not able to secure your states, and then you are saying that is going to be against Nigeria, which Nigerians? It doesn't include me as far as I'm concerned. You should go back to the drawing board and see what you will do to be able to get his...
Well, I just wanted you to hold that thought because, of course, I've got plenty of questions to ask in that direction. We'll take a short break, and when we return, we'll get back to either somebody's going to retire or the person is going to continue. Stay tuned.
The overall function of the parliament is adequate representation of their constituents in the federation.
resources to critical sectors such as education and health. A call to unity and progress of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
NAS Unplugged is a program that will highlight topical issues from both chambers of the National Assembly, from bills, motions, and constituency projects.
Guys have it.
Catch the program on ADBN Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays as we bring you activities of the National Assembly as it affects the people.
During the flood disaster in Maiduguri and its environs.
For increase in the number of judges in the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja.
The eyes have it.
NAS Unplugged, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 p.m.
For your news on the go, ADBN is everywhere you are. Stay connected with us across all our social media and streaming platforms for exclusive news updates, stories, and more. Join the ADBN community today via our various platforms. An Avo TV app, ADBN Channel 121, Niger ADBN TV, Linux Well TV app. To get the latest news straight to your phone, join our WhatsApp TV channel. Just search for ADBN TV and hit the follow button. Turn on your notification to stay updated and never miss any part of the experience. Stay in the conversation.
Talked about Fintidi's defection and how Adamawa has fallen.
Nation or First Daily?
The Nation.
Nation.
And
Fintidi's
okay, First Daily also mentioned the relocation.
Yeah, but I'm very particular about this particular newspaper because the other one talked about him retiring to Dubai, which is his second home.
Is Dubai actually an interesting place?
Well,
maybe we would ask
Atiku. You have to go there.
From what I read, it's a place for the rich.
Well, it's a bit elitist, but then they've got the other side too, so that can accommodate people like you. But then, here's where I'm going. Does it, from your analysis, does it really matter, you know, if APC takes over Adamawa? Does that mean uhuru for APC? And is this a collateral damage for Alhaji Atiku Abubakar?
Well, I like to understand or know in advance why you're asking that question. But I think that really captured, he said Adamawa falls.
APC.
It would have been Atiku loses Adamawa because.
You're speaking as a journalist. How you would have.
I think there's a paper that captures that thought, and you should hear about it from Saturday Punch. Saturday Punch, it says on Saturday Punch, Fintiri joins APC. Atiku's son, Sean's defection. So perhaps,
yeah. He's already in the APC. Okay, so it's expected that he should have been there.
Yeah.
Since he's in the APC.
So who knows? Maybe.
No, there's nothing to know there. The truth is that the leadership of Adamawa State in APC, and that, as far as I'm concerned, is a leadership failure on the part of Atiku. But you know, there's a caveat from what you're saying that, or I even said it before, that the fact that the leadership has defected does not mean that the entire Adamawa state, you know, well, how strong is the how strong is the incumbent? What is grassroots quotient? You know, how is he able to carry? What are his policies? And then at the end of the day, what is he doing agriculturally to improve the lives of the people? Because these are people that are thriving on agriculture. I like to hear what Fintiri has done to farmers. Has he been able to put money, to bring out policies that will put money in the hands of farmers? So it's not about leadership. In Akwa Ibom State, I'm sure you have seen, the leadership has moved to APC, and most of the people that are very prominent are in APC. But then the opposition is still thriving, you know. So you can't say somebody has lost Akwa Ibom because of the fact that the governor and all the people that are in leadership, have leadership positions are there. And it's still early days. So what might happen, because there's going to be, I'm even thinking we are heading for an implosion in the ruling party.
But that means if this analysis of yours is anything to go by, that would imply that you support what Atiku says, that the election is going to be between
I'm
the ruling party.
I'm just analyzing.
I know, but then, if we have to put it on the table, the election will be between the ruling party and Nigerians, and not even the opposition.
No, the truth is this, if the opposition is able to upend their game, they will also face the same Nigerians. The people at the headship of vision are always the focus of every disagreement. You know, so APC has to be very careful, because there is all these talk about getting the whole of Nigeria, getting the whole of the state and all of that. But there are some issues,
underlying issues.
You know, this is the time that we shouldn't be talking about elections. We should be talking about sustaining the economy, doing a lot of improvement in agriculture,
you don't
education.
even suppose that the APC must have foreseen this ahead, because they have different committees. They have a reconciliation committee. They have even convention. They have different committees to address all of this.
What is reconciliation in parties, in political parties? Which one has ever worked?
You always have people having issues. You can't. Even the ice cream man can't satisfy everybody.
No, the truth about reconciliation is always about the one that has the biggest interest. And right. And at the end of the day, when he is able to get the niche on it, then he will go with the victory song. The truth about it is that the APC must, yes, they foresaw what is the truth.
People are talking about
when you are on the winning streak, it's difficult to ask yourself, what happens if I fail? That will make you a perfect human being. But the truth is that when you're winning, you might forget about consolidating your winning spree. What I'm saying is that this is a time for APC to see what it can do to sustain the momentum of development, social progress that it has created in Nigeria. I remember in Wimbledon, there's Ato Ashe that had AIDS, and people expected him to say, why me and all of that. He said he cannot say that, because when he won it and he was on the turf, international turf, winning, making money and winning and getting fame, he didn't ask why me. So he shouldn't be asking himself why me. That life happens. So the APC is not really on a sure ground. What I'm saying is that elections can always
go the other way.
No, that's not what I'm saying. It can befuddle you, you know, irrespective of how you plan, what your plans are. What you do is that you keep working. You keep working on the people. I've noticed that the government relationship with the people has soured over time. There was a time the government was always assuring Nigerians that there are better days and all of that. But what we hear now is what they have achieved, and it's just about 2-3 years into the first term. So they should be able to have solid achievements.
Is there anything wrong in telling people what you have achieved? Even
while you are still achieving,
even if it's a month,
no, while you are still achieving it,
because there are people who believe, take or live, there are people who believe that this administration has achieved nothing just because they have 1 or 2 misgivings.
No,
so they believe that dwarfs whatever achievement they probably have.
No, I think the APC still has a lot to offer Nigerians. The federal government really has a lot to offer Nigerians, especially in the area of agriculture. Sorry, I am soft about agriculture because I believe that is the only way a society can grow. We're all here because we know we're going to eat. If there was no food waiting for us, there's no need to work. So you need to ensure that there's enough provision for food. We are having, and then the security challenges that we have. Sorry, I am one of those people that respect governments. I don't have attack. I don't need to join issues with the federal government, but I want the government to double its efforts on security, so that farmers can go back to the farm, so that we can have enough food in this country. Because if we don't have food, well, it's going to go the other way. So what the APC should do is to consolidate the momentum, as I said. The social progress, they have started making some economic changes in Nigeria and all of that. It shouldn't just be about politics. It's talking about politics now. And you join issues with the opposition, hit you down. Just stay on the course. What did I go to Dubai or retire? What's that? I don't think that's an official statement from the APC.
Okay. All right, then. And let's look at Saturday Telegraph. Still something about the ADC. Like I told you, we're looking at
APC?
ADC.
Okay.
We're looking at one political party after another.
Really?
After this, we'll go to the PDP. There's a lot lined up for you. Saturday Telegraph. Saturday Telegraph says here, those who attacked ADC Secretariat, my residents, may not be arrested. This is Odige Oyegon. This happened in Edo State when Peter Obi went visiting.
That's right.
And I don't know why he's having issues when he visits Edo State. And now he's saying, Odige says, those who attacked ADC Secretariat, his residents, may not be arrested. Is this coming from a place of not having confidence in the security architecture or some political statement to stir the waters?
I think I'll go with the second option. Odige Oyegun is somebody I have a lot of respect for. And it could be so embarrassing if talks will invade your house, invading your life, personal space, because of politics. And it happened at the time that there was visitation. I think that Obi's visit probably hit the rocks when they were not able to visit the governor. Somebody who is a former governor, those are two former governors. Yegun is a former governor. You should try and make efforts to do some...
Even with the fact that you are in the opposition?
Yes, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Remember what the president did when he was a candidate? He was taken to the opposition. That's one thing that endeared me to him. So people should show brinkmanship by making sure, because all about it is that leadership is one. You want to see how you can have a platform to develop your society. So if the governor is not able to see them, at least the deputy will be able to see them. You're not going to go and attack the governor. Go and let them know, so that there should be adequate security. You understand? Maybe this is done by fifth columnists, people that are not even from either side, So it's a very embarrassing. It signals what 2027 is going to hold, or the rest of this year is going to hold. So try and explore all avenues when you are going to a place. Ensure that there's
enough. But some say that this may, his visit to the governor may hamper on, or they might try to block his plans to step into the state.
No, I'm not talking about why would people say that? All you have to do is to apply to see the governor. And if he does not give you access, you can now latch in on that. You understand? But I don't think there's any...
You can even amplify that.
Yes.
Come to the media and said you'd apply to see.
Yes, because the governor is supposed to be available for everybody, as long as you're not going to go and attack him and all of that. So, I mean, he has the option of saying the deputy governor should represent him and all that. So do they have a deputy? Okay, it's only in Bayelsa that they just brought in.
They just got a new deputy.
So the truth is this: it's not good for Nigeria for you to have people burning, attacking houses and all of that. It's not a good
But there's
sign.
something you said, which for me is very important to this conversation whenever we talk about it. You talked about the fifth columnist. Is it not possible that, politically speaking, because you need to give a dog a bad name so as to hang it, you could set yourself up and, of course, let the other camp take the blame? Because people are already making statements that the governor had warned, and I've seen videos trending online, that Obi's security is not guaranteed. He had warned him not to come to the state without telling him. And so people are already insinuating that the governor's imprints on this one are everywhere, because he's already made a statement that Obi's security is not guaranteed. That's why I said, I'm very interested in the fifth columnist pass that you talked about. Is it not also possible that people can set themselves up just to score political point?
Well, I don't want to go by that, because that would be very uncomfortable.
This is politics.
I know.
Anything is possible.
I don't want to go by, but we're not.
If people can set themselves up to be kidnapped, so they can go and share the ransom, what is not possible?
Politicians are not mafia bosses, as far as I'm concerned. They're not kidnappers. But the truth about it is that if the governor had officially come to say, tell Obi, I cannot guarantee your success.
Security.
Security. What better platform than during the courtesy call? And because of the anger against ADC and all of that, your security is not guaranteed. You know, but for me, if a governor, I would have granted him access. That's if the governor actually blocked his access.
Well, the thing
so
is,
that
nobody knows. Nobody knows
that's
if Obi
why
had applied to see the governor, which is the option that you had proposed.
Yes, he should apply to see the governor long and explore all avenues to see that he gets himself in the government house. Because what better, what it would be very nice for the government to want to hear what Obi is saying, so that they could use some of the things that they say.
Ideas
yes,
for the betterment
of the state. You know? So the truth about it is this. I don't like the idea of people saying this place is going to be a no-go area and all of that. It happened locally in Akwa Ibom State. Some people will say, don't come. We are ready for this person and all of that. It's a multiplicity of parties. People have a right to use the platform provided by the campaign's turf to be able to express their ideas. A man who is not open to ideas is a closed shop.
But here's a question.
So the idea of field columnists, the field columnists are not even supposed to be sent by any of the parties. Field columnists are people that decide on their own to say, if this man comes to this place, it does not help us, or we want to do something that will impress who they consider to be their principal.
Okay. Now, here's the question.
So finally, I don't agree that there was a setup, that any party set themselves up.
You don't?
Yes, I don't. I disagree with that totally.
Here's the question. As a Nigerian, not even a politician at that level that Obi is, you know, as a Nigerian, do you not have the right? Let's just say you're a high-profile personality. Do you not have the right to go anywhere in this country without being threatened or feeling a sense
No, but
of
the
insecurity?
truth about it is that it's for me. I have been more or less associated with ADBN for about 3-4 years now, and then I want to do something significant within the premises of ADBN. I think I should be.
You should notify. I should notify.
I should be. The management should be able to know that so and so time Udemabasi is going to be here. You know, even if what I'm going to do, it may not turn out to be in
we
the
can
best
always
interest.
talk about it.
Yeah, you know, so I believe in engagement. There's not been any engagement, and that's why people will say it was something.
But
that
it was a mere visit. It was a mere visit.
No, there's no.
He's a philanthropist. I mean, he can decide to go to anywhere and help people.
He likes to relate with the common man.
No way that he will go there and not politicize that visit. He is a contender to the presidency, supposedly. There's no way. It's a different thing if I want to go there. People know that maybe people will just say maybe you want to do some investigations and all of that. But Obi will not be doing anything investigation, will not be fraternizing with the common people at the time of election. So this presidential candidate, for God's sake. But, and by the way, I hope he has not lost any of his constituency in the southeast.
Well, we don't know that yet.
Well.
And we're even interested because Atiku lost Adamawa.
Well, let's look at Saturday Sun. Now we're done with the ADC, so we'll proceed to the PDP. Saturday Sun. Saturday Sun says here, court order energizes PDP ahead of 2027 elections. Opposition parties' leaders celebrate as court affirms Ibadan Convention. Turaki-led NWC intensify efforts for opposition coalition. Judgment will bring rebirth of party, Bode Judge. And it is not just there. Let's just look at
There's
Saturday
above the masthead
Tribune.
of the Telegraph.
Yeah,
the
Telegraph has it.
above
We
the
also
masthead
have
there.
on Saturday Tribune. Saturday Tribune says, court validates 2025 PDP elective convention, affirms Turaki-led NWC. Party welcomes court judgment, urges police to unseal secretariat. It's no news. Wike's camp. Here we have it.
Yeah, the PDP is a party that is after my heart. I like the PDP. They were able to rule the country for such a long time. In Akwa Ibom, it was said that the PDP
was a religion.
It was a religion, but it's not actually now. You know, So the PDP blood runs deep in a lot of places. But I like to say the PDP's division, since the PDP is a loss, is a loss for members of the PDP. So again, for other members, for other political parties. And so for this court judgment, we hope that it's going to be, it's going to bring about peace. And you know, remember I talked about consolidation the other time. It's going to give you an opportunity to bring people together. You know, the implosion probably has ebbed. And so they will now say, okay, the court has ordered that Turaki-led NWC is the one that should lead us. And so
but here's where I think the problem is.
And sorry, the Wike, you didn't expect the Wike group to take that. And I don't bother about Wike because we don't even know whether he's still in the PDP.
He's still in the PDP as of the last check.
I don't know, there was a time he was expelled.
He hasn't. Expelled by who? By a faction?
So,
oh, come on.
Well, now the faction has been declared.
No, listen, the gentlemen. Well, I'll call you gentlemen because we're all pressmen. Now, listen. Question. That's why Wike said court judgment is no news.
In fact, another paper tags it academic exercise.
Good. Now, listen, it was a court that invalidated everything that happened in Ibadan. The same court that gave them the go-ahead in the first place to have the convention, or your high court. That's what I'm asking. When he's not bothered. That's why he made a statement that the court judgment is
so he wants to proceed to a higher court.
The thing is, there's room.
That's right.
There's always room to go upstairs.
That's right.
I was expecting.
Wait for that room.
I was expecting. Well, I understand your sentiment, no problem. I can relate with it. So, here's where I'm going. You don't suppose that this is going to be an endless battle, even into 2027, validating the argument of even Fintiri's defection. Every other person who has defected, Caleb Mutwang of Plateau State, Abu Kefas of Taraba, Fintiri now of Adamawa, every other person who's defected, you want to talk about to go to their court party. This is validated. Well, I don't want to talk. Those were early defections. Okay. I'm talking about the latter ones. Yeah, defections. These are signals validating any other person in the PDP's intention to leave. I was hoping that you will speak to the fact that this is going to be an endless battle, such that neither camps will be able to fill the candidate, because they'll keep going upstairs. And if every option on earth has been explored and nothing comes out, it probably might go to God.
No, but the truth is that what options are there apart from going to court?
Good.
There are no other options.
So nobody should celebrate yet then?
No. It's a positive move. It's a positive positivity.
Do you know that it's been just less than 2 months, the other court that gave some form of joy to the Wike camp? It's not up to 2 months, if I recall, right? Less than that, you have another court, this time in Oyo State, giving this Turaki-led faction some form of joy. So it's like taking something sweet. You're not done licking that sweet, and then you have a bitter taste. That's exactly what the PDP is experiencing right now. So that's why I am saying...
No, the PDP is in its trying times, actually. But the truth is this, as I asked, what other options are there? You know, and there's no time for you to say, you talked about
that's why neither camp should celebrate.
No, but
neither camp should celebrate.
No, but at every point there should be a validation. At every point there should be celebration.
An invalidation.
You know, so the truth is that you don't expect them to have this victory in court, and then you say, no, wait, let us wait to see what the other side is going
I would rather nobody celebrates.
No,
because
it cannot
it's
happen.
less than 2 months.
No,
it
cannot happen.
I would rather nobody celebrates.
Because
while the Turaki-led faction is having their moment now, and asking the police to unseal Wadata Plaza so they can commence, activities.
Yes.
The same Wike group have not been able to exactly have, access into the Wadata Plaza because the situation is being monitored.
There is no closure now. There's no closure.
So no group should celebrate that.
No.
Because definitely the Wike camp will not sit down and watch them, have the moment.
Didn't the Wike camp celebrate when victory was secured at that court? There's no closure yet. So you keep celebrating until the celebrations become sour. But I think that
I don't think anybody.
No, I think
I just think it's like it's postponing doomsday.
No, the truth. No, you can't say that when it comes to politics. See, let me tell you that this court judgment has opened another door for the good of PDP. But my worry is why it is so difficult for people within the party to seek rapprochement with one another.
Now you're talking.
So
now you're talking.
It is when there are no options that they go to court, and they keep going to court until the primaries. So
I'm not even sure they'll have a primary. I'm sorry if anybody calls me the prophet of doom with the way they are going, because now your court. The next thing you hear is
Abuja court.
No, leave Abuja. One court in Damaturu will now be brought in, and if Damaturu is not enough, they will now go to another court in Borno.
Our job as politicians is to wait and see, as events will unfold.
I would rather nobody celebrates.
I'm not rejoicing with the Duraki camp, but the truth about it is that it is their moment now. So let's see what happens. Let's see what it will be a series of actions.
The battle has just begun.
No,
because the battle has, whether you take it or not, I've already told you I understand your sentiments, so I already prepared for your sentiments. So no wahala. The battle has just begun. The PDP is like a group of people waiting to spite each other. I mean, when the Wike camp had a moment of reprieve, they were spiting the other people. Now, this other camp, they have a moment now, they are spiting the other people. That's what they're doing. They're spiting themselves. So as far as I'm concerned, neither camp should rejoice. They should be sober. There's something you said, and I was hoping that the PDP will listen. This provides an opportunity for reconciliation.
That's right.
Closure. They need to come together and find out why they are divided. Do they want to have a PDP or they don't want to have a PDP? If they do not want to have a PDP, then tear the party. Let's have an NPDP or whatever PDP. And if you people are not ready to have a PDP, then let's know that PDP is finished.
No, it is to show you that the PDP was a very strong party.
Was it?
With disparate interests. And the interests, though, are not reconcilable, there's always an opportunity for a group of people to weave the threads together. So it's early days for us to judge and project that it's going to be bad.
I'm not judging.
The truth about it is that door...
There's no victor, no vanquish matter on this matter now. Nobody should rejoice. If the PDP has any sense whatsoever, I'm not saying they don't, please, with all due respect. I'm only saying that this provides, I'm sorry, yes, I know your sentiment, I understand. So, but
my sentiment is not PDP.
But what I'm saying
I am loyal to the federal government, which is controlled by APC.
But then you inadvertently played your card, and I already know, so no wahala. I did a bit of psychology, so I understand. So here's what I'm saying. With all the court cases going on, at the end of the day, the loyal people in the PDP are the losers. And it will not provide the PDP an opportunity to even stand.
Now, let's do a reconstruction.
I think they need to go back to the board.
That's
harmonize.
Right. That's where we agree.
Harmonize.
That's where we agree. But politics is about show. Politics is about mouthing the other side.
At the expense of the party?
I'm coming. You can do that as a show, but the truth about it is that some people will have to bring in the thread because PDP has a recognition value that no other party has.
Which has diminished.
No, it doesn't matter.
It has diminished.
It doesn't matter.
They are fast being overtaken by the ADC.
It doesn't matter.
Who's talking in the PDP?
It doesn't matter.
Who is talking in the PDP?
No, you said people shouldn't be talking, shouldn't be making a show. they should be doing underground moves and all of that.
Okay.
But the truth is that let's watch as events will unfold, sentiments or no sentiments.
Okay.
I was hoping, Jennifer, forgive me, this particular one, I will not leave it. Because it was the one that looked for my trouble. I was hoping that you will speak to the party after your heart, as you had said, quoting you.
Yeah.
That with this victory comes a vista of hope that they can come together, form common ground, reconcile whatever differences, and see how they can forge ahead together.
I have implied that in my response.
Not.
I have implied that.
I'm not sure I heard. Maybe there was dirt in my ears.
I think
I'm not sure I
Ike
heard.
is the one who is more...
I'm the one that is pushing for it.
No, hold on. You don't know what I'm about to say. I think you're the one who is more sentimental to the PDP.
No, I'm not. He's the one that's sentimental. I want the PDP to be reconciled. I don't want anybody celebrating because he's validating the celebration, and I'm saying no. Nobody should celebrate. They should not celebrate. They should not pop champagne and eat whatever they are eating. They should go and use this opportunity of this court validation of this one or that one. See, whatever validation they have now can be validated.
My advice,
you can wake up in less than 2 weeks and it's been validated.
My advice, just find a George somewhere, make him your friend. Well, let's go to Saturday Telegraph. Saturday Telegraph talks about voter apathy elections that took place last weekend. It says here, leadership failure deters voters from electoral process. This is attributed to Sergei Okoye. INEC's figure on voter registration dubious. Politicians manipulating data. It's too early to use FCT council polls to project 2027.
I agree with the last one.
It's too early.
I agree with the last one.
Well, let's bring it to Mr. Udemabasi, Comrade Udemabasi Udofa. Yes. INEC's figure on voter registration dubious. Do you share in this?
Well, I am not in a position to either share or to...
You're a journalist.
You know, the truth about it is that we have some problems in INEC, you know, and the INEC should not also be the only group to be blamed. The politicians manipulate.
Yeah, it says they're politicians manipulating data.
And INEC is working on what is brought to them. It's working on what the information that it has gathered, and the parties are players in that game. But let us go to the last projection.
It's too early.
It's too early. You know, it's too early. I was better, you know, in the council elections, I mean in the FCT elections that just happened. You know, I know a lot of things that happened within the situation room and all of that, which I cannot say here. But the truth about it is that there should be a lot of, how will I say it, sensitization, and there should be, we have a lot of laws in this country, but they're never implemented. You know, the electoral law, being able to bring out penalties and all of that. But none of those, I don't see INEC officials, I don't see politicians, I don't see even observers being repudiated for whatever they are doing. You know, I wasn't really satisfied with the council elections, the results and all of that. I wasn't. But then we have to work with what we see and then listen to the criticisms on all sides.
Well, INEC has said that they will investigate a lot of the complaints that people have put on the table. And they have also said that they will punish erring officials that are found culpable, especially this. So that gives that kind of, what do you call it, assurance. However, when you say INEC works with whatever data they're given, I would beg to differ for a moment, because who's conducting the voter registration? Is it not INEC?
No, but they do.
So INEC has data, right? INEC has data. Politicians cannot manufacture data. What politicians are doing, on the contrary, is mobilizing people to go and get registered.
That's right.
INEC conducts it. So if anybody says whatever data is available right now is a fraud, that invariably means you're saying what INEC has done is fraudulent. The politicians cannot conjecture, or they cannot manufacture numbers. They rely on INEC's numbers to make projections. INEC is the one conducting the voter registration. Politicians can't do that. They can only mobilize. And
they mobilize people to go and vote. And those figures...
To go and register. That's what they're doing now.
And then at the elections, the people that registered will go to vote, isn't it?
Definitely.
Now, but the truth is that the people that go to register, the number of people that go to register can also be manipulated.
By who?
It can be manipulated by the information that is being given to INEC.
No, INEC has accurate data. INEC right now can tell us the amount of persons that have registered,
the number of people that
have not been registered, the ones that have registered but have not collected their documents and all of that. So INEC has data. If you say that whatever data out there is incorrect or fraudulent, you are invariably indicting INEC. You're saying that INEC, whatever INEC is doing or has done is fraudulent.
So what this means is that you were happy with the FCT?
I am not. No, come on, we were here. We had correspondents out in the field. We heard these things. We saw these things. INEC has said whatever misgivings may have happened, whatever the complaints, they will investigate, and that whatever person or persons found to have one way aided.
I know of an agency in Nigeria that is always saying we're on top of the investigations and all of that.
That's a cliche. It's a normal thing. We know that.
So nobody gets charged.
Are you saying that even with the complaints right now, that you do not expect that if INEC officials are found culpable, that they will be prosecuted?
No, until then. This is Nigeria.
So invariably, without even saying it, you're saying that you don't trust INEC.
Well, you're not going to put me in that spot.
That's your insinuation.
You're not going to put me in that spot.
That's your insinuation.
But I'm saying that for us to say that we will trust that all the people involved, let them stop at investigating. They're going to investigate and then bring out the people. And then
have you ever heard any election conducted, whether free? You think Tofa suddenly accepted it when Abiola won? And you think Tofa did not have problems? And you think Tofa probably at some point never thought that the election was rigged?
No, let's not go there.
No, please.
No,
please,
let's not go there.
Please. It's a regular axiom for politicians to allege that the elections are rigged, even though they're rigged, right? So it is now, excuse me, I'm not
on both sides.
People don't laugh, wait, excuse me. The only thing is, the law says, whoever alleges, she'll stand by to prove.
Like you just alleged?
I've not alleged. Excuse me. What I am now saying is, there are complaints. We've seen manipulations, we've seen documents and all of that. So everything is in the hands of
No, but who has oversight responsibility for elections?
INEC, of course.
I think I'll leave it there.
Okay. Yeah, but you should also trust that they'll do the right thing. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I'm very trusty.
No, you're not. You've already expressed your doubt.
Well, maybe that is going to propel them to better results.
All right.
We can only hope, though.
Well, we're looking forward to better results, and we're looking forward to an election where we would have...
A better election.
Okay.
A better election that we've had in the years that have passed.
All right, we're looking forward to that.
We can only hope for better days.
Yes, we can. All right, thank you very much, Comrade Udema Basudofa, for reviewing the papers with us.
Thank you, Comrade.
I'm very happy to have been here.
Thank you.
At least we've shaken you a bit.
No, I'm immune to shakings.
Okay. Well, we'll take a break, and when we return, we'll join Jokubert Boshud to tell us what's trending. Don't go away.
Overwhelming voices where everyone has different opinion on different issues. It is important that we bring the core issue to the fore. Join me, Nancy Banigo, on Softline as we voices to inform and influence your thoughts and actions. This is not just mere talk, it is an invocative program that touches the core of our existence.
Step into the heartbeat of the world where news meets real talk. From breakthroughs in diplomacy to humanitarian challenges and scientific milestones, Global Digest takes you beyond the headlines and straight to the heart of the matter. I am Amma Marcus. Be a part of the world's unfolding stories at 3 p.m. on ADBN, channel 258 on DSTV, and Star Times, channel 140. Global Digest, your window to the world's current affairs, only on Advocate Broadcasting Network.
Welcome to FCT in Focus, your window to the vibrant heartbeat of Nigeria's capital. We dive deep into the core of the FCT, exploring how key policies and decisions shape lives across the city. From exclusive insights into the FCT administration to voices from the streets, we bring you stories that matter. Catch FCT in Focus every Saturday and Sunday at noon. Tune in for the latest stories directly from the nation's hearts.
The global business is never static. Watch the market report on ADBN TV for business information, latest happening business deals, government economic policies, stock, crude oil and commodity trading, financial upstick and downstick, and the world of organized private sector. The market report showing on ADBN TV 1 to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday. The market report bringing you up to speed in the business world.
The overall function of the parliament is adequate representation of their constituents in state echoes to federation.
Removal of fuel subsidy, resources to critical sectors such as education and health. A call to unity and progress of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
NAS Unplugged is a program that will highlight topical issues from both chambers of the National Assembly, from bills, motions, and constituency projects.
Guys have it.
Catch the program on ADBN TV, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, as we bring you activities of the National Assembly as it affects the people.
During the flood disaster in Maiduguri and its environs.
For increase in the number of judges in the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja.
The eyes have it.
NAS Unplugged, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 p.m.
On the go. ADBN is everywhere you are. Stay connected with us across all our social media and streaming platforms for exclusive news updates, captivating stories, and more. Join the ADBN community today via our various platforms. An Avo TV app, ADBN Channel 121, Niger TV app, ADBN TV, Linux Well TV app. To get the latest news straight to your phone, join our WhatsApp TV channel. Just search for ADBN TV and hit the follow button. Turn on your notification to stay updated and never miss any part of the experience. Stay in the conversation with us across social media handles. On X at ADBN TV, Instagram at ADBN TV, Facebook ADBN TV, YouTube ADBN TV. Keep visiting our website on www.adbntv.com. Watch us live anytime, anywhere. ADBN TV, a part of you.
Do you know what gamalin 20 is? It is a dangerous chemical pesticide never meant for human consumption. Sad fishermen illegally use gamalin 20 to catch fish, poisoning not just the water, but the food on your plate. Here's how to spot fish caught with gamalin 20. Fish that look unusually fresh but stiff. A strange chemical smell, sometimes like kerosene, when cooked. Pale or bleached gills, peeling scales, or sunken eyes. Eating such fish can cause nausea, vomiting, and even damage your liver and kidneys. In severe cases, it can lead to life-threatening health complications. Remember, using gamalin 20 for fishing is a crime. It harms people, rivers, and marine life. Protect your health. Fish only from trusted sellers. Report suspicious fishing practices to the authorities. Together, Let our water safe and our meals healthy.
Welcome back, and now we'll head straight to join Jokobed Mushrood in Lagos to tell us what's trending. Hi, Joki. Good morning.
Good morning, Aisha, Jennifer. You're looking good.
Thank you. Well,
Aisha,
Jennifer, Fayos.
Jennifer too.
Jennifer. You're looking so beautiful this morning. I haven't like, okay, why do you have like a head wrap or something?
See, thank you. You know, sometimes we have to travel, and when you travel, your outfit travels with you. So I had to.
Oh, yes.
So for today, she's Aisha, Jennifer too. Fires.
Okay.
Fires.
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 Fires. Yeah.
Aisha, Jennifer too. Fires.
Okay, so well, this week has been a whole lot on the social media space and in Nigeria as a whole. First off, we're going to talk about the fire that broke out at the Lagos International Airport, where FAN, I think, came out to say that there were no lives lost there, but they redirected all the flights and said that they're going to go the next day. But it was a whole lot of traffic, a whole lot of confusion at the airport the next day. Just a whole lot. But right now, I think the situation has been stabilized to a very nice and concise. I want to thank the authorities for what they did. It was really, really great. They actually put up a statement on this, and it's going to be on your screen real soon. But they actually put up a statement saying that everything has been contained. The fire has been pulled off. The fire was curbed almost immediately. The damage has happened already. But let's hope that this doesn't happen again, because it happened before. We just hope that this will be the last.
Well, I am always very scared of fire incidents. In fact, sometimes maybe you can maneuver your way through with maybe water. But you see, fire, I just looked at me when I said water. Well, maybe because I can swim, but...
Oh, yeah, you keep saying that, but
yeah.
You do not rest on telling your athletic capabilities, so I'm okay.
No, you need to know. Coming from where I'm from is called Amamimong, which means we love water. And as little as you can be, you'll be taken to the stream and dumped there. You maneuver your way through.
Jennifer is from a place called Fishiokia.
Oh.
It's a planet of fishes.
Okay, fine. Well, let me get to the conversation. Fire incidences are very scary for me because how it happens, you don't know. And sometimes you just might be somewhere else. You're not understanding the environment. You could be sleeping and then boom, it happens. So it's always very scary for me. And then for a place of that nature, an international airport. Now, beyond the safety, it also goes a long way to talk about how we take precautions when it comes to issues of this nature. And it speaks largely, we're looking at international scene, how they look at the country. Is that how carefree we can be? Is that how we handle situations? So for me, it goes beyond just that incident. We should be looking at a place where people can say, oh, I'm comfortable to fly at so airport, because maybe they've put in things in place, precautions and all. But to have such a fire incident there, I don't know. I feel really off concerning that.
No matter what you do, anything can happen. Even in the best of airports, you can also have that kind of fire incident where you're dealing with appliances, you're dealing with electrical equipments. These things don't announce themselves. You could have a surge somewhere, you could have one trip somewhere. So what has happened in Nigeria, what has happened at the airport is not synonymous to Nigeria alone. It does not speak to carelessness or recklessness. It just shows you how life is, that anything can happen, especially when you're dealing with electronics. You're dealing with electric appliances. The only thing I would, rather speak to is our response time. That is the only place I have a problem with, response time. If we have things, installations and everything in place and our response time is faster, some of the damages we've seen over the years from fire can be reduced. I just need quick response time. Even in advanced places, in technologically advanced places, in fact, the more advanced you are technologically, the more prone you are, because these are machines. And machines malfunction. Anything can malfunction, and that can trigger a fire. So I do not want anybody to, speak to this fire as though it's caused by recklessness or that it's synonymous with certain things. No, we've seen fire incidents in other countries, even developed climes. I am only saying, let us work on our response time. If we work on our response time, and we're able to quickly respond to some of those fire incidents, we can reduce the damage. That's mine.
Oh yes, that's true. And they actually tried their best. They tried their best this time. It was really swift. I can actually say it was really swift. And I think that we also have these avenues of where that things happen really swift as it happened this time, because sometimes fire breaks out. The one that happened at Lagos Island, where it took over the whole building and people lost their businesses and all of that, there was no immediate response. But this one, there was immediate response, and I really want to commend them. It's been really, really great out there. Well, moving on, we're going to talk about the NAFDAC placed ban on multi-dose malaria drugs. Now, they're saying that they're reaffirming on the ban they placed for the dry powder for oral suspension due to the instability of these formulas. Okay, they are calling them out because apparently this was issued last year, but for some reason it's still out there in circulation. So they're calling them back, making sure that people do not take this since they are not stable enough for it to be taken. Now, some of these are even sold to children. Children are actually want to consume most of these drugs, and it is that damaging. So they want NAFDAC is out there finding Nigerians that these drugs are unsafe and they should not buy them. And if they're still out of circulation, they should report to the necessary authorities. They even put up their response line. So I'm just hoping that people get aware of these drugs and make sure that they do not give them to their children. Because when children get
And Jokey, the question I'm going to ask is, we have Standard Organization of Nigeria. We have NAFDAC. They have responsibilities to check products before they are pushed out to the market. Did anybody check these products? Because Nigerians been consuming it. If this didn't come out now, you know how many Nigerians have bought this? You know how many children, take this on a regular? Even as we speak, someone somewhere is definitely heading to the pharmacy to buy the same drugs, because that's what they are used to. This speaks largely to diligence. These organizations, do they do due diligence? Whenever we hear about products being burned, products being banned, that is because someone has done due diligence, or maybe on the other side, maybe you don't play ball. But what I'm saying in effect is, when it comes to consumables, we should be very, very thorough. We should be painstaking about it, because we're talking health here, which cannot be replaced. So when you want to put out a drug and you say you have certified that this drug can be used, can be applied, can be, administered to whatever kind of sickness or ailment or problem, that means you have done clinical tests. That means it has been subjected to every single avenue, every single test possible before it is put out to the market for people to buy. When you come out and start doing what I call medicine after death, it speaks to negligence. At what point did these drugs get to the market and people started buying them, and now you're calling out the drugs when many people are bought, and we don't know how many people are suffering consequences from the same drugs that they're calling out for? Let's be very, very thorough and painstaking when it comes to health. Don't just certify things to get out in the market for us to, we don't even know what's killing us. We don't know. Water we drink kills us, food we eat, drink kills us, medicines we take kills us. What are we even going to take? No.
Well, I can't help but sharing this opinion because I'm worried about some of the procedures they take in approving some of these items, whether food, packaged food, drinks, water, and then we're talking of medication. Now, those are vital items because they go into your system, and whatever goes into the system is what determines how you're living and how long you're going to live. So looking at this, we have the NAFDAC, we have Standard Organization of Nigeria, and all of these agencies were put in place to ensure that Nigerians have some level of safety, or they can breathe or can sleep in one eye when it comes to their food, comes to medication, water, at least.
I want to believe they got our back so we can sleep with two eyes.
Well, that's what they thought. But now we can't even close an eye because you're wondering what is happening. You're wondering the food I just bought or this packaged item I just bought, is it safe? Now, I will share an experience. Just a couple of months ago, a friend of mine went to a pharmacy to get a medication from a pharmacy. And after, there was a part where you'd have to scratch and then send to a number, and he did that, and it was confirmed that it is not safe to take that medication. And so he reached out to me. I spoke to community of pharmacists, and then they went to the pharmacy, only to confirm, or they reached out to them, and then they realized that there was a mistake from the number. So the medication was actually okay. Now, these are discrepancies. You shouldn't be joking with such things. So imagine he didn't go through that process, and then maybe it was right or it was wrong and just took the medication. Now, some Nigerians don't even have the time to scratch, send the number, and confirm.
Exactly.
We need a procedure where it is very difficult that even after approvals, you would not have someone sneaking something that wasn't approved. We need that.
You know, this is where I miss late Dora Akunyili.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
This is where I miss her.
Because she paid attention.
This is a multi-billion-dollar business that we're talking about here. People sneak in counterfeit drugs, substandard drugs into the country, and the system is so compromised that people take money. They are not subjected to clinical tests. There's nobody checking every end. They just give them certification. And Nigerians, what do? We take it. Look, when people are sick, nobody has time to begin to say, let me check this drug. Is it really good? Let me check the expiring date. People just want relief. People just want to feel okay. And so Nigerians are not a very painstaking set of people that will say, okay, fine, even if I'm sick, but let me check the drug that I want to take.
Well, maybe because we trust the government to do the right thing.
As long as the doctor has written most of those handwritings that we don't see, they write something on the paper. And they tell you to go and buy a drug. You go buy the drug. You trust the doctor's judgment. That once the doctor has given you a prescription, you go to the pharmacy, you pick it up. You trust that you're safe. So the other set of persons that we've talked about, in this case, NAFDAC and SON, they need to wake up because many Nigerians are dying consuming things that we don't even know about. They need to wake up.
Honestly, they actually have to wake up because it's not about putting out all these directives. Okay, do not take it anymore. Do not take it anymore. I think uprooting from the roots would solve the whole problem. Because most of these drugs, you can even see the price tag on most of them. It's actually sold for exorbitant prices because and some people will say, oh, let me just go buy it so I can feel better, or my child feels better.
Believe the more expensive it is, the more original.
The more original it is.
They believe if it's cheap, it's fake.
So I just hope that these things are curbed from the root cause, from the root. They just snip it and that's it. Well, moving on, we've got some sad news where the female officer was clamped during a show of force display in Abuja. In a video that's going to be shown on the screen, you can see that when the cars turned, she was lying on the floor. She was on the floor, and the car stepped on her, and she just underneath the car and everything. It's just a story. I just have to commend the health facilities because they gave out the ambulance immediately and made sure that it was actually safe. It is really, really bad. This particular thing cannot be happening anymore. I want to believe they had drills before then. I want to believe they were well prepared for this particular show before they decided to do it. So I do not know if it's from driver's angle, maybe he did not know where she was and all of that. It's just a really sad moment. Really, really, really.
Well, I don't know how to feel about this, but one thing I've always said is that security operatives have a terrible way of driving. Whether on the streets or in their offices, they have a terrible, I don't know if it is part of their training, but I see it, and sometimes even when they're driving, they're escorting political office holders, or they're just going by their regular business, you'd see how they drive, and you're screaming, wondering, because tell me, if they were a bit careful with the driving, this would have happened. And I don't know how they do it, but I think they really need to pay attention to how they drive.
Jennifer,
that's one aspect I'm always very angered about.
Anything can happen. You can't be too careful in life.
Well, if you were at least some level.
Listen, this is something they do on a regular. I believe that particular show of force was for females. They wanted to show that, you know, they have combatant females that can actually, you know, live up to expectation. And they've done drills, they've done practices. This is a regular for that. You understand? Look, in life, you can't be too careful. You may have practiced, you may have been doing this every day, and then a day comes, a small slip, and then you fall. It even happens to the men. So nobody should tell me it's because it's a woman, you know, women are weak. If that woman grabbed me, I'm not sure I'll remember my name. A lot of them are properly trained. You understand? The truth is, this is one of the hazards of the job. Anything can happen. She wasn't careless. She wasn't reckless. It's a normal thing. They do jump on the vehicle and it moves in top speed and they grab and they hold firm. So she probably lost grip and fell. It happens.
Well,
it's
I keep talking of their driving. That's my aspect.
Listen, this is how they drive. Would you rather that he drives soft? If you give Jennifer a car,
she was on the road. She was on the road, not on the vehicle.
Listen, if she was on the road, yes, I agree that, I mean, she should have, you know, stayed away from the road, stayed on the other side. But look, things happen. Things happen. I don't want to blame it on the driver.
I won't agree with you, but I will blame them in every way. Their driving is terrible. We've had incidences where these people have knocked off people on the road.
Listen, it's a drill. And when drills are done, they are to assert something. That's why it's called a show of force. They are to tell you that, look, in event of an incident, we can respond rapidly. And in showing you that they can handle whatever comes their way, they needed to show that force. They needed to do that drill. The lady probably never saw the vehicle coming. Maybe she just was too close. These are just, anything can happen. Anything can happen, right?
Yes.
The driver oversped, didn't hold the brake in time. Anything can happen. So it's unfortunate that this has happened. The only thing this will now, you know, bring is that people will need to be more careful. That's all. When you see a show of force drill like this, stay off the road. Get off the road. Don't stay there, right? Stay off the road. Stay off the road.
I think she was part. I want to believe that she was part of the show of force because she's seen she's lying down on the road. So I think they're supposed to spin the car around her and mistake. Yes. So he was in the way.
Why is busy blaming the driver?
I am. In every sense, you're supposed to spin the car around her and not on her. Hold on.
Hold on. Vehicles are toys, right? You just grab a toy and then this is a vehicle.
What is
crying
the
out
training
loud.
for?
Anything can happen. Even the best drivers. Have you watched NASCAR driving? Formula One driving, they have accidents. They are professional drivers.
Okay,
Stuff happens. Anything can happen.
Apart from those drivers, now, you keep saying anything can happen. Did they think of the fact that anything can happen and protect this lady from whatever anything that could have happened?
If you go and ask her, she'll tell you she's been doing this drill. It's not the first time they've been doing the drill.
Come on, Ike, I won't buy that.
Anything can happen.
Not today.
This is life. Anything can happen. Sorry. We just hope that she's not hurt.
Oh, you really
honestly, I hope she's not hurt either. Well, it's been a really fun time right here on the show with you. I hope that you have a great broadcast, and I hope to bring you more exciting news next week.
I hope so too, and I hope I don't have to argue with this woman who thinks driving is like moving a toy.
Whatever you think.
Oh, I
All right, thank you, Jokobed. Update. Well, whatever I thinks, that's his, and
I can't wait for you to drive.
I can.
I will mock you.
You don't have to mock me.
I know that you're going to be so slow on the road, but then that's not the conversation.
Oh, well,
Our conversation this morning is, since we now have a new IGP, though in acting capacity after being decorated by Mr. President, although conversations around IGP DSU's emergence, of course, people are talking about the 8 other officers, senior officers, that need to go for his elevation, but that's not our focus. Our focus is, now that we have a new IGP, there are issues, policing, reforms, insecurity. What exactly would be more like what you call it now?
A mantra for him?
No, we set the agenda, more like an agenda setting. What are the areas of focus that this new IGP will have to work on? So, when we return, we'll look at the tasks before the new IGP. Stay tuned.
For your news on the go, ADBN is everywhere you are. Stay connected with us across all our social media and streaming platforms for exclusive news updates, captivating stories, and more. Join the ADBN community today via our various platforms. An Avo TV app, ADBN Channel 121, Niger TV app, ADBN TV, Linux Well TV app. To get the latest news straight to your phone, join our WhatsApp TV channel. Just search for ADBN TV and hit the follow button. Turn on your notification to stay updated and never miss any part of the experience. Stay in the conversation with us across social media handles. On X at ADBN TV. Instagram at ADBN TV, Facebook ADBN TV, YouTube ADBN TV. Keep visiting our website on www.adbntv.com. Watch us live anytime, anywhere. ADBN TV, a part of you.
The acting IGP, Tunji Disu. Your declaration today is not simply a conferment of rank, but a solemn charge to serve Nigeria with courage, integrity, and unwavering commitment to the Constitution. I took this decision for you to assume this responsibility because I know your record. I believe in dedication that you've exhibited while you were in Lagos and I was the governor of Lagos State. And now you assume this responsibility at a defining moment for our nation's security, and expect you to strengthen the discipline, enhance interagency collaboration, and restore public confidence in Nigerian police. Lead firmly but fairly, demand professionalism at every level and ensure that safety of lives and property remains our highest priority. It's a daunting challenge. I know you can do it. You have my full support as you have to advance the security pillars of Renew Hope agenda. You are a straightforward individual, committed and respected. You have sufficient amount of discipline, and you can draw from experience of how they are who had been there before you. The commitment I need from you is for you to make it better than you met it. And I'm sure you can do it. Nigeria is challenged right now with banditry, terrorism, and all sorts of criminal activities. You've been part of the thinking, and you've been part of the innovation. The challenge, as you hold the pattern of this leadership, is the belief that you will exist and Nigeria will prevail. To the outgoing Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, I extend the gratitude of the entire country, Nigeria. We are a grateful nation to you for our dedication in service, exhibition of good leadership, attribute within the force. You have served with commitment and extension. And Nigeria appreciates your contribution to maintaining law and order in our country. As you conclude this chapter of public life, I wish you and your family continued peace, good health, and success in all your future endeavors. One thing you should look back and remember is this: you have not succeeded without a good successor. Therefore, the success of a two-judicial IGP, when confirmed, is part of your responsibility and the joy that you should look forward to. I'm also, having been your principal staff officer before, I have no doubt you understand the ins and outs of the operation. It will only improve. He's an operational person from what I know. Nigeria is challenged. We all have the responsibility to ensure security of lives and the property of all Nigerians at this critical period. We can drink from the fountain of your experience.
Let me start by saying that I give glory to God that I'm stepping aside today as Inspector General of Police. My gratitude goes to Mr. President for reposing enormous confidence in me right from the time he appointed me as his CSO when he was governor in Lagos to the time he appointed me as Inspector General of Police until this day that I'm stepping aside. And in fact, till tomorrow, I'm grateful to him. I am particularly excited that I am handing over today to someone with whom I share a unique history. We both had the rare privilege of benefiting from the mentorship of Mr. President and Commander-in-Chief, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR, dating back to his days as governor of Lagos State. I remember learning something. I learned many things from him, from Mr. President, but there is something I remember he said when he was governor in Lagos. He once said that a good leader should have a succession plan and must invest in his likely successors. I invested in likely successors in the Nigerian police force, and I'm happy that one of those that I've invested in has been found most suitable for the job and has been decorated today, and I'll be handing over in the next few moments. My advice to the newly appointed Acting Inspector General of Police is that he should continue to show commitment to the things that we have been doing together. He has been part of my administration from the beginning. He was my PSO. He was CP in Rivers in FCT. He was the AIG in charge of my SPU. When Mr. President gave the presidential order to withdraw police from VIP protection, it was Tunde Disu I called upon to ensure that presidential order was given full compliance, and he did it so well. I am happy that he's the one that is taking over from me, and my advice to him again is that he knows all those things we've been doing together.
The president was throwing a challenge at me to go out there and do what I'm known for and ensure that I bring peace, recognition, and to the country.
Okay, so what will be your top priority for Nigeria?
My top priority, one of the first I have with my men, I'm going to talk to them, let them know that the citizen of the country are the boss. It's very, very important for them to know that no police anywhere in the world can succeed without the cooperation of members of the public. I'm going to ensure that I take...
Welcome back. It is still Morning Express, the weekend edition on ADBN TV. And now we're heading straight to the conversation for the day. And it is the task before the new IGP. What is expected of him? What are the challenges or the bottlenecks that has been in place? And with the frequent talk about police welfare and advancement in security architecture of a country, what should we expect of the new IGP? Well, we have gentlemen joining us to keep up the conversation and make sense of it. And we have joining us right here in the studio a communications expert and a political affairs analyst, Dr. Chris Okun. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Jennifer.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, Doc.
Good morning, and good morning, esteemed viewers.
And also we have joining us virtually the Chief Security Strategist, International Institute for Security and Governance Studies in Abuja, Dr. David Okoro, joining us virtually. Good morning, Doctor.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Well, we're looking at the task ahead for the new IGP. And okay, we also have still joining us virtually for this conversation is Newton joining us virtually still from Abuja. And Mr. Newton is also an analyst. He's a public affairs analyst and also the CEO Action Aid Nigeria, Mr. Newton Oshimaye. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Newton. All right.
Mr. Newton, good morning.
Okay, I guess we'll have to fix up that. But let me begin with Dr. David. Dr. David, let's get your view of the new IGP, because for every new person in a new office, we need to look at and understand who he is, who he was, and what people are looking forward to. From your angle as a security expert, what is your assessment of the new IGP?
Well, thank you, ADBN, for having me. Unfortunately, I didn't get to hear the comments made by the new IGP, your preview, and the outgone IGP. But now we are in a new regime, and I think that we should be more concerned going forward. about the man who is going to be taking charge of the internal security of our country at a time when we have a security crisis. Yes, Mr. Tuji Disu is a police officer that has been out there in the public space for a while. He has headed several strategic police units. He has had state command in Rivers State. He has been head of the intelligence response unit. He has had all sorts of positions, and he has also had trainings both within Nigeria and outside, including command training. So, yeah, he has been in the force for long enough, and during this period, he has done fairly well. It's just that the job of the IGP is not a training ground. The job of IGP is a serious national. Okay, are you hearing me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so the job of the IGP is not a tea party. So, but I think the question you asked, yes, for every police officer that enlists in the Nigerian police force, there's a course of training that prepare them for leadership position, like he has gotten now. Prepare them for command position. Prepare them for ultimately an opportunity like this when it comes. So I think that Mr. Jisu had prepared for this role from all that all we know about him, and he had not disappointed in his previous appointments.
All right. Well, let's bring the conversation to our guest here, Dr. Chris Okol. We have a new IGP, and there are lingering issues that he'll be inheriting. Let's look at, the mountains before him. If you play them as a Nigerian citizen, you think it's going to be an easy task for him? I mean, based on his resume, somebody who's been in the force before, you think he'll be able to surmount the mountain before him?
Okay, I think that with his experience being marshaled by my earlier contributor and discussant on the topic, it appears as if the police boss should be able to confront the challenges. And now it is upon confrontation that we'll be able to see whether he'll be able to, overcome them. Now let's look at the challenges. One of the major challenges that the police is facing in the country is the deficit trust between the people and the police. And that has to do with the public image of the police force. And the Nigerian police has fought over time to try to make the police a friend to the people. But it has not worked. And that is because of the fact that some of the police officers who are working at different levels seems to contradict the narrative by their attitude, by their behavior. They are not civic, they are not courteous. Sometimes they are not even, they're irresponsible in their attitude toward the people. And if you look at the hierarchy of security architecture, the police seems to be, and should have been, the closest to the people. But when you see police officers, when you see citizens begin to run, when they see police officers coming, without even knowing what they are coming for, whether they are coming to protect them, whether they are coming to ask them questions, or whether they are going to interrogate them, but they start running. That is a red flag. So that is the first challenge that the police boss is confronting with. The second, now back to the first, which is why people are thinking that by his good boy paradigm, which he developed and propelled and sold based on his experience in Lagos, that if he brings back that paradigm and tries to institutionalize it, make it a Nigerian thing, not a Lagos state affair as he did, then that will go ahead to change the public image. Now the next challenge is about the banditry in the country, which is also inheriting from his predecessor. His predecessor made some effort, and the banditry has expanded to the issues of kidnapping, which has become a trend. Now robbery is now beginning to change to more of kidnapping. They make more money through kidnapping than robbery. And so it becomes like a style, a trend. So the IGP is also going to face that. How is he going to be able to, find that out and reverse it? Now, the third one that he is going to face is the state policing debates. Fortunately or unfortunately, it is at his doorstep. And the president, in his remarks, pushed it straight to his face that we must and should confront. Don't forget that the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has been very passionate, even as a governor of Lagos State, about the area of the devolution of power. And if you look at our history, we did not start from a centralized police system. We started from the native authority police system. Even in our pre-colonial security structure, we had the Dogari structure for the north, we have the Ilari structure for the west, and in the southeast, Oloron and some part of the southeast, we had the Ekpe court and the Ekpe confraternity, which was used as at that time as the police force of the citizens. Now, it was when the colonial masters came that they seemed to have replaced it with the native authority police. And now we move to the region, whereby there was also a regional police system for the three regions. But it was after the post-independence that there was this centralized structure in 1966, and we now had the first indigenous IGP. Now, the truth is this, that our structures have changed. If we use a particular system for overtime and it has not worked, it means that we need to revisit. The truth of the matter is that how is our people surviving in the villages? It is the vigilantes that are keeping the village structures. So the IGP is inheriting that debate. And there must be a strategic, strategy or a strategic process of getting the debate. And some experts have called to set up a presidential panel of experts so that it will not be politicized, where the Constitution will take every element of it without giving prejudice or bias in terms of powers to the state governors. There should be a police in the village. There should be a police system in the world. There should be a police. Like when you look at what is happening in the United Kingdom or in the US, even though the UK is transiting back again from the decentralized police system to a unitary police structure, but that does not negate the different roles of each of the components as it were, coming from the metropolitan police or any other police system that they have. So thankfully, this may be the first transition from traditional police IG to a modern person by virtue of his experience. He has experience in cybercrime, he has experience in forensics, he has experience in contemporary policing by virtue of his training. So I think that the president has a lot of hope in the capacity of this in trying to transform the police from the traditional policing system. And if you look at his Marshall point, the 3 points he brought, one is professionalism and modernization. We are yet to move toward modernization of our police system. When you visit the police office, the divisional police offices, the area police offices, then you know what we're talking about.
Okay.
So it has a lot of things.
Mr. Newton, I don't know if you can hear us now. Mr. Newton, good morning and thank you for joining us. Okay, you can. Well, we're looking at the head for the new IGP, though in acting capacity. And from your angle, what do you make of the new IGP? Has he, over the years, been able to build capacity now for this particular position? Mr. Newton?
Seems to be an audio issue.
We
cannot hear you, Mr. Newton.
We cannot hear you from here, Mr. Newton.
So while we try to sort that one, we can't hear you, Mr. Newton. You might want to check your settings. We'll just switch to Mr.
Okay, you might want to unmute your mic. Okay.
Your mic.
Okay.
You can hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Go on, please.
Okay, I said first and foremost, I think it's too early for us to judge the new Inspector General of Police, the acting Inspector General of Police. But however, because of his experience and his CV, one can quickly CV to assess that this kind of person has the quality to actually manage the police force in the leadership capacity. That is the best that we can say about him now, until he begins to actually deploy these skills and these experiences in managing the Nigerian police, and not just managing the Nigerian police, managing the Nigerian police in the sense that the Nigerian police is practically loyal to Nigerians, loyal to the Constitution, and of course loyal to the act that is establishing the Nigerian police. That is when we'll begin to do, because all his predecessors, they've all had wonderful CVs to come on board. Inspector General of Police, Betokun, who just left, actually had also a brilliant and intimidating CV. But unfortunately, I can tell you that it didn't go down well with Nigerians. The kind of Inspector General of Police that we had with Betokun is something that we will remember, not just remember for brilliant ideas or his brilliant performance, but we remember him for the dangerous way he policed the Nigerian institution called the Nigerian police, and also his performance. For instance, I can talk about the widespread human rights abuse and violations that cuts across the country, and the manipulations of elections by the same Nigerian police and order that brought us to the kind of place that we are today.
I would rather you use the term alleged manipulation, because of course they've not been found guilty of what you have just alleged. So
you said what?
I said I would rather you use the term alleged manipulations, because of course they've not been found culpable of what you just said, legally speaking. So
will that call you alleged? The election that just happened, that the police came there and tear gas a particular place that was on video, and they cut away with ballot boxes. You call that alleged?
Well, anybody is innocent until found guilty. That's the position of the law. And if we have to apply the position of the law, even in public discourse, you cannot call someone guilty.
Okay, for the purpose of this conversation,
Mr. Newton,
I beg to use the word
again, just to assert my position, Mr. Newton, that alleged manipulation would have been a better term, because they've not been found guilty of.
That's fine. For the purpose of this conversation, I will use the word alleged. It's okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mr. Newton. We're listening.
Okay, Mr. Newton, beyond just the assessment of the new IGP, there are also some discussions about the president's choice from Egbetokun, which some would say is mostly of the Yoruba descent. And then we're talking about Tunji Disu, who is also in that line. And some are of the opinion that this is probably drawing in some sentiments towards tribalism in selection, weren't there other qualified police officers for this position? And with the coming elections, this might also be to place in persons in the strategic positions to also ensure he has a safe passage.
A quick one. I don't play tribal politics. I believe very much in professionalism and qualification, and of course on merit. Like I said, his CV has shown that he merited this position. That's very clear. Whether President Tinubu is going to select from one particular ethnic group or not, for me, it is not an issue. Is the person qualified to actually deliver the kind of police system we need in Nigeria? If yes, then he can go for whosoever he wants to pick. But having said that, I also have a very strong concern about this pattern of selection of the leadership of the Nigerian police that has not changed. I know it's a constitutional problem established by the Act as well, that the president of the country is the one who appoints the Nigerian police. So I think going forward, we also need to look at how to separate that function from the office of the president. And the president will not be the one who appoints the leadership of the Nigerian police. Rather, I think the National Assembly, per se possible, should be able to do that job better, or a commission that is set up should be able to do that job better for Nigeria. I'm saying this because of the problem of loyalty. I think all the IGPs that have emerged in Nigeria, no one has actually been really loyal to Nigeria, but they've been loyal to the president who has appointed them. I think that's the problem for me. It's not a coming from Yoruba ethnic group or outside man or whatever. I can tell you honestly, the federal character thing has never worked for us. It has actually abused processes. It has actually put us in a very bad light and a very bad dimension, where because of federal character provisions, you are selecting somebody that is incompetent to lead a particular institutions in Nigeria. And that has put us in a very dangerous position as a country.
All right, so let's come to you, Ms. Okoro. We want to ask you, if you're there, as an expert, with all his resume and all that has been said about the new IGP, what are you concerned about? Because there's also the conversation of the 35 years of service, and the new IGP is due for retirement next year. Are you not bothered, about the same issue that Egbetokun faced, recurring, Ms. Okoro?
Well, thank you very much. I've listened to the contributions of my friends here. I must say that from historical perspective, from what we have seen and known, the performance of the IGP, the Chief of Defense Staff, the Chiefs, various security agencies, is really not about the person. It's about the environment in which they operate, the Nigerian environment, the people, the system, the structures. These are the things that determine the performance. Running a police force is fairly well straightforward. There are structures in place that guide what you do. There are rules, there are regulations. Over the years, these rules and regulations and structures have been developed. But the environment is the issue. The environment, for instance, of corruption in the police force. I have had the privilege of working to the police force, and I see that corruption is a key problem in the police. If you ask me, the biggest elephant in the room in the police force is corruption, nepotism, and indiscipline. So when you have an IG that is in place and an influential governor tells you that he wants a particular commissioner out of his state and he nominates his commissioner that he wants in his state. When it is time to do promotion and the IG there's pressure, is influenced into who to be posted, who should be promoted, who should be recruited into the police force. Remember that the IG is an appointee, it's a political appointee, and he owns his position to those who put him there, like they say, the piper detains, the person who pays the piper detains the tune. So the IG work it's a bit tricky. It doesn't depend on just the competency, like I've said on another platform. Major work of the IG is influence management. For instance, the police is giving funds. Most of the time, those funds, it's not the IG that determines how those funds are spent. He gets instructions and very powerful people from the villa, traditional rulers, politicians. They determine a lot of things. So sometimes I feel sorry for whoever takes that job of an IG, because most of the time it's really not in control, even when it comes to operations. And by the way, I don't know how much time we have for this interview, but to say that Nigerian police can perform, given the tools and the proper environment, Nigerian police can really address issues of internal security. But the challenges are huge. I give you an example, because you are talking of an IG is going to war. It doesn't have the full complement of men with which to go to the war. The men do not have the complement of equipment. They don't have the technology. They are not, the funding, yes, there is funding, but the funding level is not adequate. So when you bring the best of brains to come and manage that kind of environment, you can almost be sure that the end of the day, he might not be able to achieve what he needs to achieve. For instance, you are talking of the manpower. Today, the totality of Nigerian police force is less than 380,000 men, right? And the platforms with which they work are hardly available. You go to a divisional police office and you don't have functional vehicles, and you don't have functional communication equipment. You understand? The morale of manpower is low because, again, like I said, whatever funding is provided, which is already inadequate, doesn't get to the ordinary policeman on the street. I do know this for sure, that when improperly equipped, Nigerian police can deal with insurgency largely. I mean, banditry. Sorry, they can deal with the banditry and the kidnapping we are confronting with. So, in a situation where an IG comes to the office and is confronted with this humongous crisis, it is difficult for you then to expect that there's going to be an Eldorado. So, I know that Tuji Disu have good intentions, but we need to address the environment under which it's going to operate. For instance, I mean, you keep pointing to the police.
If I may interject you, forgive me, please, if I may interject you. I had asked one concern, which, of course, the IGP, the outgone IGP, Egbetokun, faced, the issue of tenure, 35 years of service, right? And this IGP is due by 2027, although a provision by law has been provided for tenure elongation. But you don't suppose that he will also face the same problem that Egbetokun faced, that he was constantly being criticized. Many Nigerians, Showore and a couple of them, came after him over his illegal stay. You don't suppose Disu may also go through the same problem?
Sorry, I didn't hear the question.
Well, I am talking about tenure. 35 years of service, right? 35 years of service, statutorily. Disu is due for retirement 2027 by 35 years. Now, look at the time he was just appointed, and he's due for retirement in 2027. We have an election in 2027. The Nigerian police force has plenty of issues that is going to be inherited. Now, I was asking, are you not concerned that he will go through the same problem that Egbetokun went through, that many Nigerians constantly bashed him, Showore and a couple of them bashed him about his stay? Many people said that that tenure elongation was illegal. And you don't suppose that Disu may go through the same problem?
Well, for me, what's important is that the president is well aware of some of these technicalities that you talk about. So when we get to that bridge, we cross it. But for me, it is what he can deliver in the next 1 year, how he can turn the tide, how he will be able to manage inadequacies and the constraints that Nigerian police face. I know that it's an issue for discussion, for debate, whether the president should have appointed it. But again, like I said, the president is the chief executive of the Nigerian nation. He is the head of all the security agencies. He knows what he wants. Like he's a coach. Like you take his position like that of a coach who have a team and he wants to win a match. He's the one who determines who he feels would better play a position. Because at the end of the day, it is the president that is going to account to the people of Nigeria how well he has been able to secure the people of Nigeria. And it is him, therefore, who should determine who he thinks best fits his agenda or best play a particular role to address a national issue. So if he feels that Egbetokun, who has left maybe about a year to go, is a fellow who can do the job for him, and he selects him, that becomes his cup of tea. If at the end of the day Egbetokun succeeds, it's to the president's glory. If he fails, it's to the president's glory.
You're saying Egbetokun. Yeah.
Sorry. If at the end of the day this succeeds, it's to the president's glory. If he fails it, so the president feels this is the person he wants, even though the man have 1 week to go, and he said this is the person he wants, is to say, Mr. President, but at the end of the day, the president will account to the people of Nigeria as to what he has done with the resources that he has. So I don't have a problem with that tenure at all.
Okay, I'll bring the conversation to Dr. Chris here in the studio. Now, for every time there's an appointment of an IGP, whether in acting capacity or fully affirmed as the Inspector General of Police, we always have the discussion around police office welfare. We talk of professionalism among the police force. We talk of issues of being able to tackle insecurity head on. These are constant variables whenever we have to talk of a new IGP. What is that bottleneck which you feel has hampered on being able to address these concerns over the decades? Because every time this is always what we talk about. What has hampered that? Why is it that we've not been able to erode this conversation, being able to sort them out and fix those problems before the next IGP?
Okay, I think that basically is a problem of, first is the inadequacy in terms of budgetary provision. The second part of it is lack of transparency and sincerity on the part of managers of the implementation and the execution of the budget as it relates to equipping and modernizing the force. Then thirdly is the issue of indiscipline and irresponsibility, whereby you look at even the vehicles that have been provided for the police, and some of the vehicles don't even have headlights. they don't have reverse lights, you know. So how do we, and it's not even a function of the police, generally, how do we take care of public infrastructure or public utilities in our care? Just because we are not the one that own it, it's not called by our name, so we just use it anyhow. Of course, the police vehicle is supposed to be a stronger vehicle because it's bound to be used and overused. But the maintenance culture that is not there is definitely going to bring the problem. And so it brings back to the issue, the central issue, which is inability for us to change our attitude. You know, so you have a budget, and that budget is not properly provided for the problems that are in the system. What is provided for is not well taken care of. It's not well, accounted for. So you have how do you account for where the bandits have more motorcycles more than the police force? The bandits are running in motorcycles up to 200, 300 at a time, running through the. And the police, I don't know which police station has up to 5 motorcycles or have even up to 3. That is ridiculous. And we see what civilized societies, what they use motorcycles to do. Motorcycles are equipped with complete gadgets, communication gadgets, and you don't need to do a roadblock if you have a motorcycle. And that is why the new IG has brought about the concept of visibility policing. Visibility policing is a proactive strategy. So the police can be seen, but they will not brutal force. You don't need to be beating people for people to know that you are there. But when you are stationed properly at strategic places and the people know that you are there, normally, intelligently, people begin to be careful of what they do because they see that you are equipped to take action if actions should be taken. But even if you are there with all the guns, with all the machetes blocking the road, and you are not equipped, things will still happen within your nose, and you don't have any power to contain them. So the IG is moving. One of the 3 points he's talking about is visibility policing. It's contemporary, it is strategic, and it's asymmetric. So what it means is that if we are able to change through him, whereby we change this idea of brutal force, and our other contributor was talking about the era, the president was asking him to end the era of impunity, where police will be taking laws into their hands, extrajudicial killings and detention, and this reckless arrests without following procedures, and acting in proxy for politicians, powerful people against the poor. That is very, very important. And so we are looking forward. We cannot judge Latin Judicial, but we can bask on his experience on intelligence response squad and rapid response squad to be able to see what he's going to do to be able to reverse the trend. We really need the police system that works for us. Otherwise, we're going to have a problem.
Mr. Newton, let's come to you. Earlier, I had a bit of a small exchange with you, especially with the term that you use. So let's now explore that election. Let's talk about elections. Elections 2027, about the corner. We have a new IGP now. What are your concerns, basically, with the appointment of this new IGP and elections? Let's hear you now.
Okay, a very quick one. Like I said,
George Disu, as it were, because he has not really handled this position before. Yes? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Go on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I said it will be difficult to judge the present acting IG because he has not handled this position before in that capacity. This is the first time. Yes, but for his CV and the things he has done in some other states in Nigeria, one can say yes, Nigerians have hope. But going into 2027 elections, my worry is how do we separate the police interference with our election process? How do I mean? I've seen places where, because I've been in an election observatory team for a very long time, I monitor elections across the country. I've seen places, a very good instance is Edo State, where a senior police officer actually in that stop collation at a center and ask them to move that collation process to a different location. A police, that is not the responsibility of a police officer. The police officer in election is to make sure that there is peace in election and the safety of people are guaranteed in coming there to vote. That is the simple function of the police. If you go to Ghana, if you go to other small countries in Africa, the police has nothing to do most times with the interference of election. They stay outside the elections are happening and make sure there is peace and the safety of people are actually guaranteed in the election process. So we are looking forward to to make sure to ensure that we have that kind of atmosphere where people are not intimidated, where people are not afraid of the police, where the police will not, the some of the corrupt police officers also, I have somebody talking about corruption, some of the corrupt police officers also will not connive with politicians to manipulate elections, like I mentioned before, because we have seen it, but you said alleged, yes, to allegedly manipulate elections. So these are the things that we are looking forward to see with Gishu coming on board. I just wish him well. Like somebody said, it's not Tea Party. I agree, it's not Tea Party. But the constitutions and the act is strong enough for him to be able to act as it were. Like I said again, the Nigerian police should be loyal to the constitutions and the act setting up the Nigerian police and to the Nigerian people and not to any individual in the country. That's what I have to say. But we look forward to see the best come out of this.
We'll come back to you. Mr. Okoro, I want to come to you now because upon his announcement, followed conversations online, and there was a trend of conversation that I took particular interest in, and you're the expert here. I intend to bring that to you. I don't mean to throw any curveball at you, but you're the expert, so the tough questions should come to you. Now, there is this practice that every time an IGP of a lower rank is, appointed, the other senior officers will have to leave. And the conversation, which I'm sure you must have been privy to, I believe you're a social media person, around Frank Mba and 8 other persons living in their prime, that is eliciting some kind of sentiment. Are you not concerned that that may be a problem? That every time an IGP of lower rank is appointed, the other officers who are, at the higher level, however in their prime, they'll have to leave. Is that not denying Nigerians the opportunity to enjoy quality service that, like Frank Mba and the rest, they're still young, but they have to retire?
Well, I have that sentiment because I have friends among those who believe in at the highest level. But it's a tradition. It's a tradition in the system. Even the officers you are talking about who have to retire are aware that when the new IGP or any other military organization in Nigeria, they have the head, which is a political head. And when he is going, it means that this is what happens. It is not that it is compulsory you must leave because your colleague is leaving or your head is leaving. It's just that simple. If I am your mate and or you are my junior and I become the head of that agency, how easy it is for you now to take orders from people who are your junior. So because of the pushback that is going to result from allowing a junior officer to head an organization where the senior officers are still in, it means that because of functionality of that institution, it is necessary that this leadership issue is resolved properly. So you cannot have my senior, heading an institution over me. So, but in order to address the confusion and the conflict, the regulation just says that if you have somebody junior to you take over position or head of an agency, you just, even if they don't ask you to do, you resign. And if you don't want to resign, of course, the system will get you to go so that the system runs smoothly. That I have. But for me, the issue really is not that you have this set of police officers leaving, is that we must have a national framework that continue to accommodate and harvest the skills, the training, the knowledge, and the experience of senior officers. Because it's not only the police. In the military, when you change a service chief, everybody ahead of him goes. In the other services, anytime the head of those agencies are ended their tenure, it means every other person who will be lower, be higher than the next person that is coming will have to go. So for me, my own postulation is that we must have a structure in place that continue to help us to engage these individuals in maturity. I give you an example. In other part of the world, it doesn't happen like this. There is a structure that enables people to continue to function and provide service. Most of these guys, some of them are just come from, most of them are just come from NIPS. Some of them have just come from defense college. They have come from all sorts of training, high-level training. And at the time they are supposed to start contributing to national development or to national security, they are suddenly retired. So, and they have to go because that is the regulation. But I am saying that we need to then develop a next level engagement, whereby we have a structure where these people can continue to function in providing advisory roles. They might not be operational, but advisory role, think tank, or something that where they can continue to be involved, because the bleeding is so much for our country. Like I said, the last time a new chief of army staff was appointed, every other person ahead of him had to go. The same thing, the SS in all other services. So we need to have a national framework. This is my own thinking. But to talk about election, maybe if you permit me, just talk about election. We have an issue. There is this debate between regime security and national security. What we are currently seeing in our nation is regime security. The security elements are to protect the regime that have appointed them. So if Mr. Tinubu have appointed this set of guys, they feel that even without him saying it, that their responsibility is to ensure that Tinubu continue to remain in position, because in any case, it's first survivor. If Tinubu leaves, it means that President Tinubu, leaves. It means that another person comes, they will lose their job. So really, it shouldn't happen. But what we have in Nigeria is regime security against national security for security office holders. So we need to have a national commission to say, look, the military or the security services should first of all be loyal to the nation before the regime that appointed them. But that's a discussion we need to have. And by the way, most of the things that happen in Nigeria is what you and I accept. If certain officers begin to behave in a particular way and we accept it, so be it. But if the Nigerian people say, no, we don't want this, and they insist they don't want it, and they really insist they don't want it, then we can have a nation that we want. But we are complaining because we are really not ready to take the bull by the horn and confront the system. And until we are ready as the people to confront the system, we'll continue to be at the receiving end of what the institutions and their leadership are going to dish out to everybody.
All right, thank you, Dr. David. Let me bring it to Dr. Chris Okon. Now, the president had emphatically mentioned that one of the things is looking forward to state policing. And then he also wrote to the National Assembly asking for legal framework to enhance and further push for state policing. How feasible is this with this new IGP we're looking at?
Well, I think that the president has been very consistent in his position about state policing. Even though I would like to, my opinion is to replace the term state with community. Yes, because when you say state police, it appears as if the centerpiece and the balance of power is on the state. But if you call it community, it means that it will be a multi-tier community policing system, and whereby there must be a framework where nobody's allowed to use that advantage over any other person or over any structure. So there need to be a national conversation. Some experts have canvassed for a presidential, advisory committee, a committee that everybody will come and sit down to develop the framework before transferring to the National Assembly. Because we don't need to create any gap in the law whereby people can be used. That was how we transitioned from our earliest system. We used to even have what is called the Hausa Constabulary. That was one of those historical steps that was taken from Lagos to the north back to the east. Now, before we now came back centrally. But there is need for us to look at how we are going to, implement the state police system. What is going to be the role of the villages? What is going to be the role of the traditional rulers? What is going to be the role of the wards, the local government, and the state? Now, what is going to be the command structure? What is going to be the intersection? What is the role of each type? What is the role of the community police in a community? What is the level of weapon that they're going to carry? Now, what is the role of the police that operates at the state? What of those who are going to be operating in the forest? The president has been talking about the fact that, and that is correct, that we have abandoned our forests to strangers to come and inhabit them.
But there's also the push for forest guards.
Yes, so there's going to be that level of nexus to be created, so that there will not be confusion, because what brought about how that earlier structure was dismantled and abolished and the central system. And there's also confusion in terms of ranking. That is what also brought problem. Where you had a sergeant at Lagos was like a constable in a different place, or an inspector in the east was different from a sergeant in the north. So there should be uniformity in terms of promotion. As we speak, the last time we attempted what is supposed to be a community police was the constabulary system. And it was messed up till today. Those young people who are in the constabulary department do not have a future. They don't have a promotion. They're still there. They are the ones that are carrying ordinary baton for the other set of the police officers. They're the ones that are blocking the road for them. Was that what they were employed to do? So there is need to overhaul that system. And I agree with the president. For us to tackle the form of insecurity we have in the villages, the banditry in the forest system, there is need for a bottom-top. Unfortunately, we have a recruitment that has been ordered, 50,000 recruitment exercise. There need to be a bottom-top recruitment structure. The idea of recruiting from the top for the bottom does not help, because it is a community. It is the local government that knows the people that have filed in for recruitment. They should be screened at that level before transferred to the top.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Well, let's take social media reactions as regards this particular issue, and of them have been pouring in. This is Nature's Pharmacy in Your Kitchen says, finally a new IGP, Tunji Disu, ego makes sense. We dey watch you, zero tolerance for corruption and impunity like you talk. Make please stop extorting us for road. Now that one go show say change don't come. God bless your hustle. All right, that's what we're looking forward to, especially that street extortion. Arsenal Decoded says restore public confidence and SARS-style brutality. Improve police welfare, them they suffer too, and make policing citizen-centered. No be by mouth to action. If it work, it work. If not, we go talk workingly. Yes, we are. We're really watching out to see how this pans out. Oyeni Ron Michael says, new IGP Dusu says citizen na boss. Zero tolerance for corruption. It's sweet for ear, but we don't hear this plenty. Make it prove I'm sharp. All right. Dimtree says, first time I dey feel small hope for police since long. Tunji Disu get integrity rep. intelligence background and they form and they form. My expectation, intelligence-driven policing, better community relations, and make police protect us instead of collect bribe. God guide them. Indeed. We're looking forward to seeing a number of these play out. On Parallel says, fix police welfare first. If officers stay hungry and unpaid, how them go work well? Improve salary, equipment, training. Happy police, better security for all. Congratulations, sir, but no forget this one, no.
Let's take some pattern shots. Let's come to you, Mr. Newton. Your pattern shot, what are your expectations as your pattern shot? Mr. Newton. Mr. Newton, are you there? Okay, we don't have Mr. Newton. Then we'll come. Okay, Mr. Newton, yes.
Please, just unmute your mic.
Unmute your mic.
Okay, well, we can't hear you at the moment, but let's bring that to...
The mic is unmuted.
Okay, go ahead. We
what are your expectations?
Can you hear me now? Okay,
yes,
I said it's part of the conversation. It's part of the submission I've made this morning that the Nigerian police, like Doctor said in the studio, the Nigerian police should be loyal to the people. We want to see that loyalty, not to President Tinubu, not to the Senate, not to any governor, not to any politician, but it's loyalty. The loyalty of the Nigerian police should be to the people through the Constitution and the act that is setting them up. That is what we are looking for.
Beautifully said, beautifully said. Let's come to you, Dr. Okoro, your parting shot as the expert. What are your expectations?
Okay, but maybe I should correct that. My name is not Okoro, my name is Okoro. So please note that.
Okoro.
But I was just going to say that happily for me, Nigeria is putting in place a structure that maybe not this year, not next year, but it will eventually deliver results. Number one, we have a national police, which is what the president is pushing to have state police. And after state police, we will have what we call community police. I mean community security, because there's a difference between community police and community security. So we need to have these three levels. And we are on the first one, which is what we're discussing now. Hopefully, organizations like the state police and the forest rangers will be able to come in and will help us. Then one of the hope I have for 2G Disu is that by the time the current DG of DSS was being appointed, DSS was in disarray, wasn't really performing well, but within a very short time, he has been able to turn around that service, that today we can see it professionalized and they are delivering results per second. So if this fellow could do it in the DSS, I think that 2G Disu can also do it in the Nigerian police force.
Thank you again to David Okoro. We appreciate you. And of course, where the need arises, we'll also seek your expertise. Mr. Newton, thank you again for your time. Thank you, gentlemen. Let's get your parting shot. Doc, you've listed both of them. What will yours be?
Well, I'm hoping and relying on the 3 points that the new IG is talking about, which is the professionalism and modernizing the police system. Looking forward to seeing the police well equipped. I want to see the roads being policed by well trained, and well equipped, structures from vehicles to bicycles to motorcycles that can enter the communities peacefully without any problem. I'm looking forward to a police system that is motivated with proper welfare so that they will not resort back to kickback and corruption. I'm looking forward to a police system that will be working for both the rich and the poor the same way. Very, very important, because that is one of the major deficits that we have. So good luck to Olatunji, and it's also good to see that the president do not forget his people. That is on the lighter note. The president does not forget anybody that has ever worked with him. So that is something that is very, very scarce to see among politicians. So congratulations to Mr. President, and congratulations to Olatunji.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen, for being a part of this conversation. We do appreciate your insight on the program. We'll take a break, and when we return, we'll be talking sports. Stay with us.
For your news news on the go. ADBN is everywhere you are. Stay connected with us across all our social media and streaming platforms for exclusive news updates, captivating stories, and more. Join the ADBN community today via our various platforms. An Avo TV app, ADBN Channel 121, Niger TV app, ADBN TV, Linux Well TV app. To get the latest news straight to your phone, join our WhatsApp TV channel. Just search for ADBN TV and hit the follow button. Turn on your notification to stay updated and never miss any part of the experience. Stay in the conversation with us across social media handles. On X at ADBN TV. Instagram at ADBN TV, Facebook ADBN TV, YouTube ADBN TV. Keep visiting our website on www.adbntv.com. Watch us live anytime, anywhere. ADBN TV, a part of you.
Do you know what gamalin 20 is? It is a dangerous chemical pesticide never meant for human consumption. Some fishermen illegally use gamalin 20 to catch fish, poisoning not just the water, but the food on your plate. Here's how to spot fish caught with gamalin 20. Fish that look unusually fresh but stiff. A strange chemical smell, sometimes like kerosene, when cooked. Pale or bleached gills, peeling scales, or sunken eyes. Eating such fish can cause nausea, vomiting, and even damage your liver and kidneys. In severe cases, it can lead to life-threatening health complications. Remember, using gamalin 20 for fishing it harms people, rivers, and marine life. Protect your health. Buy fish only from trusted sellers. Report suspicious fishing practices to the authorities. Together, let's keep our waters safe and our meals healthy.
Well, you're still watching the weekend edition of the Morning Express. We switch gears now and talk some sports. I've got with me Umoiwek. A man's all good, they had a name in twice. How you doing, man?
I'm fine.
Happy weekend to you.
Yeah, it's another weekend where, of course, Gao FC on the road to Anambra State and Super Falcons in action today, the Premier League in action as well. So many sporting activities in action today and tomorrow, so we have so much to talk about.
So let's begin from the NNL. Of course, Gao FC will be facing Solution FC in match day 12. What are your expectations?
I think I expect a good game for Gao FC. I really feel bad for Gao FC. It's not easy because they travel on the road over 16 to 18 hours, journey to Lagos, and they just came back. Now they have to travel again on the road of course, I'm sure they're already in Oka ahead of that game against Solution FC tomorrow by 3 p.m. So the last 2 weeks have been the last 2 weeks have been very stressful journey for them. You know, traveling to Lagos where they had to play a very stubborn side, the noisy Lagosian Sporting Lagos, with a man down, but they were able to pick a very important away point. I think that is something they should build on. I understand the fact that fatigue might set in